And welcome. Workhorse Productions and Chuck Clancy Automotive bring you the high school football game of the week, and today it's a backyard brawl as Woodland plays host to Cartersville, the first time the two teams have met since the 1999 season in a regular season contest. I'm Scott Singer along with Donald Rucker, and it should be one fantastic night for football. The weather is clear. Both teams getting ready for this one, and what a great way to start the 2006 season.
And Scott, it's always exciting when the season starts. Every team in high school football tonight in Georgia and across the United States, there's excitement because everybody feels like they have a chance. You can sense the optimism here tonight with the fans from Woodland, the fans from Cartersville. And like you say, anytime any two teams get together in Bartow County, you know there's a lot of excitement, and it's going to be a good football game.
Oh, it should be one great game. These teams saw each other last week at the Jamboree. They didn't play each other, but they were able to be on the same field within a couple of hours of each other. And, of course, you know both teams were checking each other out last week, trying to get a preview of what they were going to see tonight, and it should be just one fantastic contest this evening. And, again, these two teams haven't met since 1999, and that was the year that Cartersville went on to win the state championship, and Woodland had a pretty solid year as well that season.
Woodland had a good football team, had a lot of talent on that football team, and a lot of those players were there for a couple of years, but that was a good year for Cartersville. And this year, Scott, Woodland has a lot of talent on this football team. They're looking forward to this season. They're expecting big things from the football team this year.
And it should be one great year for both squads. Again, you know, Woodland has waited on a lot of these athletes for a couple years to develop. They're now here. They've got some older guys that should be able to take the reins. And you look for a good season out of this Woodland team. This is their only non-region game of the season. They will start region play next week, so that they get a 9-game region schedule, or at least they're subdivided, but at least 9 games within the region.
And that's a little different for Woodland. In the past, they've only had 5 to 6 region games, but it's different when, like you said, right out of the box, those region games start, and all those games are like playoff games. Those are big football games. Of course, Cartersville lost a lot on the defensive side of the football, had to replace quite a few guys on the front seven, but talent-wise, there's a lot of talent in this Cartersville football team. With the tradition that Cartersville has, of course, we know that Cartersville just reloads, and Scott, on offense, they are loaded with young talent. They've got a quarterback that's a 3-year starter, and I really don't remember the last time Cartersville had a 3-year starter at quarterback, and that's Lyle Allen. So they've got the leadership on the offensive side, but on the defensive side of the football, they've got to have some people step up.
Definitely, and again, they are replacing a bunch of lost seniors to graduation. I think that 22 or 24 seniors graduated last year, and a lot of good players, a couple all-state players, a lot of college signees. But, again, year in and year out, Cartersville seems to have the talent coming through, and we'll see if it holds true again this season. And before we get started, let's take a quick look at the starting lineups. Starting lineups tonight are brought to you by Chuck Clancy Automotive, and we'll take a look at the Hurricanes offensively across the front 5. These are some new names: Nick Newbern, Daniel Gilbert, Adam Thomas, Alex Ginn, and then, of course, the one returning starter up front, Joseph Gilbert. The tight end this year is R.B. Clyburn. Morgan Alexander will be in the backfield along with Donovan Tate. The wide receivers are T.J. Ackey and Jeremy Trimble. And then finally for the Hurricanes is Lyle Allen running the show under center. Defensively for the Wildcats tonight up front are Cody Lentz, Cambrell Hill, Troy Goff, Brandon Williams, and Ivan Eidson. The linebackers are Javon Henry, Josh Hill, and C.J. Jackson. The cornerbacks are Phillip Adams and Stuart Morse, and Jeremy Cleaver has the honors in center field back at free safety. On the other side of the football, we'll take a look at Woodland offensively. Josh Bryant is at one tackle, Lance Head at the other. The guards are Ivan Eidson and Toby Lindsay. Kyle Bryant is the center. Dustin Cheek is the tight end. Stuart Morse and Phillip Adams are the wide receivers. Cordell Horace will be the tailback tonight. No fullback listed as a starter from the coaching staff yesterday. They were going to make a game-time decision, so we'll let you know who that player is today. And then, of course, Mitchell Bowles will get the start at quarterback tonight, but that also could change as well. They've got 3 quarterbacks they've been shuffling in, and, again, they were planning on making a game-time decision on that as well.
Yeah, Woodland still searching for starting quarterback. 3 guys really competing hard. It as the next couple of weeks go, it's still almost like a preseason, if you would, for Woodland, because they're still trying to make a decision on the quarterback, and it may work out that Woodland just goes with who's hot for that particular game. But they've got the same situation on at quarterback, at fullback, just waiting on the one guy to just step up and become the player.
Exactly, and I mean, again, both teams with a lot of young talent as well this year, so who knows what's going to happen in a game like this.
Scott, you can see the captains are approaching the field. As you can see for Cartersville, big number 75 is already verbally committed to Georgia Tech. That's big Joseph Gilbert, one of the captains tonight. Looking forward to seeing Joseph on the flats at Georgia Tech.
And also, as a captain here for the Hurricanes tonight will be Ty Davis, Lyle Allen, and Luke Pye. The captains for the Wildcats tonight will be Brandon Williams, Troy Goff, Cordell Horace, and Charles Busey. And as the captains head for the midfield stripe, we'll turn it over to Earl Wilkinson, who is our head referee tonight. And the umpire is Brian Burley. Travis Smith is the lineman. The line judge is James Arnold. Mike Jenkins is the field judge. The back judge is Vince Finley. And Haywood Patton has the clock this evening, and we'll send it down to the midfield stripe.
All right, did everybody get a chance to shake hands? Okay. All right. Captains, will both teams show good sportsmanship throughout the contest tonight? Okay, great. Like to hear that. All right, we'll refer to you as red. We'll refer to you as white. If I have a flag, I'll ask for one of the colors to step forward. I'll explain the options to you. If you don't understand, say, Mr. Ref, I don't understand. I'll explain them again. But once we make a decision, we'll have to stick with it, okay? All right, white, you the visiting team, we're going to let you call it. Who's going to call it for me? You will? Call in there loud and clear. We drop it, we'll flip it again. Heads, this is tails. Call in there loud and clear, please. Tails. He says tails. It is tails. You want to kick, receive, or defer to the second half? You want to receive. Which goal you guys want to defend?
We want the scoreboard.
You want to defend that. Step on that line and face me right there, Red.
And there you have it, the coin toss from the midfield stripe. And we are just about ready to get it underway here as both teams heading onto the field. Cartersville has won the coin toss. Lyle Allen has elected to receive, and that means the Hurricanes are going to get the football as we get ready to get it underway here along the banks of the Etowah River, one of the most beautiful places to watch a football game. Right behind you, the mountains of North Georgia, the Etowah River right behind the stadium, and of course a lot of faithful on both sides of the football getting ready to watch what should be one of the better games in the area tonight.
Scott, as you can see, the Hurricanes come through the sign, which is a tradition for the Hurricane. Those cheerleaders work hard, as you say, taking hours each week to put together that sign, and within about 2 seconds it comes crashing down. But I think you learn a lot about Cartersville and what Coach Barton thinks about his football team. Normally Cartersville always defers to the second half, but Cartersville wins the toss, and without hesitation, Lyle Allen said, we'll take the football. So it tells you a lot about what they think about their offense.
Well, Cartersville obviously will be an offensive team this year, at least for the first couple weeks. That's the part, and that's very different from the Frank Barton teams we've seen in the last decade. Usually they focus on defense first and then let the offense take over. This year, with a 3-year starter at quarterback, a lot of speed at the wide receivers positions, and two of the best young backs I've seen around. I think this team is going to focus on offense early.
Exactly, Scott. 3 years ago, you can remember Lyle Allen starting out as a sophomore. Cartersville could do very little in the first 3 football games. You can only go as far as your quarterback, and now that he's a senior, it's like second nature for him to step out here on the football field. There's so much more that he can do now, and he has a better understanding of the game, better understanding of the passing game, making better decisions. When you have a senior quarterback, those are the things that really allows your offense to become a lot more versatile.
Well, we're going to see those offenses in just a second as both teams getting ready to come on the field. The Hurricanes have already assembled in the visitors' sideline. We're still waiting on the Wildcats, who are getting ready to come out of their tunnel over in their locker room, and you can see the Wildcats just dancing in the locker room, getting ready to come through the big W as they come through. It almost reminds you of like a North Carolina game as they come through a tunnel, very similar to what you used to see at Kenan Stadium in North Carolina back before they rebuilt the whole thing, and now I think it's all winged off there. But kind of reminds me of a game in Chapel Hill. And as the fans get on their feet here on the Woodland side, the Wildcats are ready to come to the field for the first time in 2006, and we're just about ready to get it underway here. The 2006 season brought to you by Chuck Clancy Automotive, and we'll have an 11-game regular season for you, and then, of course, the playoffs. So stick with us each and every Friday night. These games will replay on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock on Channel 53, and then again every Saturday morning at 9:30 following the Rick Casco and Frank Barton shows. So tune in, catch us all season long. You'll see a lot of great high school football around Bartow County as the Wildcat Screech comes here, and The Wildcats getting ready to come through their banner here. Building a tradition is the sign. They are assembling in their end zone, and they're getting ready to run through the band. And a very exciting night for football here in Bartow County, and here come the Wildcats. And there they come through their banner, and we're ready to get it underway here as the Wildcats wearing the silver helmets with maroon tops and maroon pants tonight. Cartersville in their gold helmets with white jerseys and purple breeches, and we're just about ready to get it underway here from the banks of the Etowah River here. The first game of the 2006 football season, and it should be one fantastic contest.
And Scott, with the Atlanta Braves struggling like they have been, I thought this day would never get here. I tell you, I've really had some serious football withdrawals, and with the Braves, not playing like they normally played in the past 14 years, it's just exciting to get football season underway. Of course, the season this year was pushed back. Was it 2 or 3 weeks? Because we started actually a lot earlier last year, but the Georgia High School Association did push the season back, so we're starting a few weeks later.
And now we're just about to get it underway here. Coming out to kick things off will be Zach Nelson. He has also the punting duties for the Wildcats. Back deep to receive for the Hurricanes will be Morgan Alexander on one side. In the middle will be number 32, Donovan Tate. And to the right is to the left there is Jeremy Trimble, as those will be the deep backs. I don't expect any of them to touch the football. Traditionally, people do not kick it deep to the Canes, but we'll see what happens right here as Nelson lines it up, and he may be lining up for a little squib kick.
That would be wise. There is a lot of speed in the 3 deep of Cartersville.
He has the whistle, and the 2006 season is underway. A little squib kick over the middle. The Hurricanes will grab it. Picking it up that time is number 86, Cody Chupp, and he'll run right up across the 40 out to the 43-yard line, and we've got a late penalty flag on the field, and we'll see what the call is.
86, Cody Chupp showing great hands on that play. Not really an onside kick, but Woodland did kick that ball into the ground.
Going to have a personal foul against the Wildcats, and now we will get the call from head referee Earl Wilkerson in just a second. It's going to give the Canes some fantastic field position here in the opening drive.
Personal foul on the red, late hit, 15 yards, first down.
And there you have the call from Earl Wilkerson.
Of course, Scott, you don't want to start the football game like that against Cartersville. Cartersville is going to be 1st and 10 at the Woodland 39-yard line, a short field for the Cartersville offense.
At the 11:53 mark here in the opening quarter, the Hurricanes will run it right up the middle, and Morgan Alexander crosses the 35 down to the 34-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the opening carry of the game, and just like that, the Hurricanes are moving the football.
Cartersville lining up in a power outlook with 3 backs in the backfield, handing off to Morgan Alexander off the left side, running behind number big 75, Joseph Gilbert. Number 5 for Woodland, Josh Hill making the tackle on the play.
Well, the Hurricanes will again bring it up to the line. They're going to work out of the wing tee. Allen goes under center and hands off to Alexander again up the middle, who pushes his way near the 30-yard line. A gain of 4 on second down, and it's going to bring up 3rd and short for the Canes.
And again, Josh Hill busy already, making the first 2 tackles of the football game against 17, Morgan Alexander. Cartersville going with a hurry-up offense, no huddle. Lyle Allen getting a play from the sideline, and Cartersville is going to call this play from the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down and about 2 for Cartersville first down.
The Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. They're going to go with Tony Stevens to the right wing, and this time they hand off to Donovan Tate. His first carry around the 30, at the 20. He's at the 15, the 10, still on his feet at the 5, and Donovan Tate wrestled down at the Wildcat 6-yard line, and the Hurricanes are knocking on the door.
Scott, I don't know if we have a replay of that, but I could tell where that football was going because I watched for number 75. They moved Joseph Gilbert to the right side, and what a block. Joseph Gilbert took his man 15 yards downfield. Look for him at the bottom of the screen on the right side. There's big number 75 still driving his man 15 yards downfield, but Joseph Gilbert calls that play.
This time the Hurricanes will hand off to Alexander, who gets tripped up right at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be brought down for a short gain. Might have picked up a yard on the carry, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal from the 5.
Yeah, if Morgan Alexander does not trip on that play, he may walk into the end zone with the speed that he had. He had grass to the outside. As it stands, he still stumbled for about 2.5-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd down, and Cartersville can pick up a 1st down just inside of the goal line.
Well, the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. This time they're going to hand off underneath, and again working it around the corner is Tate, and he walks into the end zone for 6, and the Hurricanes have tacked a 6th spot on the board here in the early going. At the 10:15 mark in the opening quarter, Cartersville has drawn first blood. We could have a penalty flag. Let's see what the call is. It's going to be against the Canes, so that's going to back the Canes. Looks like it might be a holding call. We'll see.
Scott, I think they're going to call that on 75. Josh Gilbert on that play blocking down. I think they're going to get him with the hold on that play. But you saw number 32.
Illegal chop block on the white, 15 yards. Replay, 2nd down.
Well, that definitely wasn't Josh Gilbert on that play. He didn't have a chop block. He made a good block, I thought, on that play. But you saw number 32, Donovan Tate, in the backfield. A very versatile athlete. Can play running back, can play the wide out position, plays in the defensive backfield. And if needed, he can play quarterback, but a very versatile athlete.
Well, from the 14-yard line now, the Hurricanes will be backed up. It'll still be 2nd down, 2nd and goal from the 14 to be exact. And the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. So their first touchdown of the season negated, and the big run of Donovan Tate. We've waited to see Donovan in a high school uniform for quite some time. Looked like he may be a War Eagle for a while there, but now he is a Purple Hurricane. The Hurricanes drop back, throw to the flat. Wide open is Donovan Tate at the goal line and in for 6. And the Hurricanes are on the scoreboard.
Scott, we talked about Donovan Tate being a versatile athlete, and Donovan Tate making the catch on that touchdown. You see here on the replay, there's Tate coming in out of the backfield, and 32 wide open and making a great move, breaking a tackle to get into the end zone.
Lost my players there, and that was Donovan Tate with the touchdown. So a nice catch right there for him. 14 yards in for the score, and the Hurricanes are on the scoreboard. The snap is down, the kick is up and on the way, and it's good. The Canes lead it 7-0. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the high school football game of the week, brought to you by Chuck Clancy Automotive. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week as the Hurricanes will kick it off. They have driven a little over 39 yards in just 1 minute and 56 seconds, and now they'll set to kick it off as Dittmer puts it down and sends this one high and deep. It'll be fielded inside the 10, and here come the Wildcats bringing it back the other way. Ball in the hands of Phillip Adams, and he's going to be brought down just across the 25 at maybe the 26-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will start 1st and 10.
Phillip Adams was wrestled down by number 4, Francis Duncan for Cartersville. Junior defensive back making the play on that kick. Number 6, Trent Dittmer, got under that football a little, but Trent last week did an extremely good job kicking off and kicked a couple in the end zone in the exhibition game. But look for Trent to, at least 90% of the time kick that ball into the end zone.
Well, the Wildcats will come up with a wing tee set. Horace in the backfield, and they'll send it back in motion. Bowles goes under center, long snap count. And Bowles will kick it off to Horace, who breaks one tackle and steps up and gets hit right at the line of scrimmage and brought down for maybe a gain of a yard on the play, but we do have a penalty flag in the backfield, and we'll see what the call is. Looks like it's going to be an illegal shift. We'll get the official call from head referee Earl Wilkinson.
Scott, on that play, they just tossed a sweep out to Horace, but number 10, Troy Nelson for Cartersville, almost made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Horace doing a good job of just being able to get back to the line of scrimmage on that play as we hear the call from the head official, Mr. Wilkerson.
Must not have his mic on that.
If you could read lips on that play, Mr. Wilkerson said we had an illegal shift or formation that time against Woodland, but Woodland's going to be penalized, and it's going to be 1st down and about 15 for 1st down.
So the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. They're going to work out of the wing tee. Again, this time they're going to send it back in motion. They drop back to pass. Under some pressure, throw it to the flat, and it's complete this time to Horace across the 25 out to the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. A gain of about 11 yards on first down, but after the penalty, it still brings up second and about 5.
Mitchell Bowles throwing that pass and did a good job of putting some zip on that football. Had he lobbed that football out there, number 11, John Jansen, just missed an interception, but a good job by Bowles of throwing the football, and a good game for Woodland. It's going to be second down, about 7 for first down.
So Woodland brings it up the line. Again, they're going to work out of the wing tee. Bowles will go under center. They're going to bring the tight end to the left side of the formation. The wing goes in motion, and they quickly hand it to him around the left end. He's looking for the corner, steps outside, and gets slapped down after about a 2-yard gain. The tackler that time, number 8, Tyler Blackwell. And the Hurricanes hold on second down, and now Woodland will face a 3rd and short.
Yeah, and Blackwell made a good tackle because it looked as if Woodland was going to get a big play on that run, but Blackwell coming up from his safety position, making a sure tackle for about a 3-yard gain.
Third down, 4 yards to go for the Wildcats. Let's go offense, let's go O-line.
So the Wildcats will again bring it up to the line. This time they run out of that Delaware wing tee, and this time they hand off around the right end, looking for the corner and stepping inside, short of the first down that time, was number 28, Cameron Jackson.
And, of course, Cameron Jackson, Scott, last year lived in the Cartersville district, but has moved in the Woodland district and playing football for Woodland this year. He's a sophomore, but played on the JV for Cartersville last year.
Well, the Hurricanes will go back deep to receive, and Woodland will bring it up to the line. It'll be 4th and 3, and they will line up to punt. Set to kick this one away will be number 14, Zach Nelson. Nelson comes in standing back at his own 20-yard line at the 7:31 mark here in the opening quarter. And they fake it right up the middle, and the Hurricanes are not fooled, and now the Canes are going to get excellent field position deep in Woodland territory. And again, how can you gamble this early in a game that deep in your own territory?
Scott, this early in the game against Cartersville, if you gamble, you better make it. But number 36, Joseph Williams, was not fooled at all. As you see on the replay, they snapped that football right there to the personal protector, but Joseph Williams was not fooled. You'll see Joseph Williams come up and make a nice tackle right there, stopping Woodland for a loss on that play. And now Cartersville has a short field. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the Woodland 32-yard line.
So the Canes will again line up in Woodland territory, and this time they run it around the left end. Morgan Alexander, after a gain of 1, is brought down in the backfield. Great defensive play by the Wildcats, and the Hurricanes are stopped short after a 1-yard gain.
And that was a great tackle by Jeremy Cleaver, because that's number 17, Morgan Alexander, in open field with great moves and speed. And Cleaver just made a great one-on-one open field tackle on Morgan Alexander.
And he gets by him, and Alexander may run for a while. Hurricanes will bunch it up tight to the left side of the formation. Allen comes out of the shotgun. He drops back to pass, has some time, looks over the top, has a receiver in Clyburn. He's looking for the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete. Phillip Adams in there defensively.
Yeah, and Clyburn was really not open on that play, but 25, Clyburn goes at about 6'6". So you can see Allen taking a chance, throwing it to the big target, but give Phillip Adams a lot of credit for really covering up Clyburn and really doing a good job of preventing him from catching that football.
It brings up 3rd and 9 now for the Hurricanes offensively at the 6:37 mark. This time Allen drops back, throws it over the flat, has a receiver this time in Tremble. He's across the 20 down to the 15-yard line rather, and the Hurricanes will move the sticks. A pickup of almost 19 yards on 3rd down, and the Hurricanes are going to move the chains.
Yeah, and that's a nice throw and catch. Good read by Lyle Allen on that play. Had an opportunity to look to the flats. The flats were not open. Didn't throw it to the running back, but threw it underneath to number 2, Trimble. And Trimble doing a good job of catching and running the football.
The Hurricanes will bring it up to the line with the no huddle, and this time they hand off up the middle to Alexander, who pushes his way inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. A gain of 3 on 1st down. And the Hurricanes now face 2nd and 7 with 6:11 to play here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and Henry, number 34, the linebacker, making the tackle for Woodland. But Cartersville doing a good job of keeping Woodland off balance with the run, with the pass. They really don't know what's coming. going from the shotgun. Allen lining up under the center, just really mixing it up.
Allen drops back to pass, has time, throws to the flat. Wide open is Tate at the 10, the 5, and Donovan Tate with his second touchdown of the night. And the Hurricanes are on the scoreboard. A 14-yard pitch and catch from Lyle Allen to Donovan Tate. And remember that name, folks, because you may see a whole lot of number 32 this season. We do have, unfortunately, an injury on the field as well.
And another young Cartersville star in the wings right here. Number 32, Donovan Tate, as you see on the replay, Lyle Allen throwing it right out in the flats to the tailback. And when you got a back like Donovan Tate, it allows you to do a lot. He can run the football. You can put him at wide out. There are not very many linebackers that are going to be able to cover number 32, Donovan Tate. He's such a versatile athlete. And this year, wearing number 32, wearing the number that his dad wore at Georgia and for Tampa Bay for so many years.
And he's got the pedigree. We'll see what happens. We're going to actually have to take a quick break before the extra point. It looks like a player is down. We'll take a quick break and come back. Again, you're watching the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back. You're watching the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week as we get ready to start here after the second touchdown by the Hurricanes. 5:45 to go here in the opening quarter, and it has been all purple and gold in the early going. If you're just joining us, Scott Hamilton gambled on a 4th and short, tried to fake a punt against the Hurricane defense and came up short, and Cartersville was able to put another 6 on the board. Now a little squib kick over the middle. We'll see what the Wildcats do with it. They'll bring it back the other way. Crossing the 25, still on his feet outside and getting loose in the corner, and the Hurricanes will wrestle him down at the 23-yard line. The ball carrier that time was Josh Hill.
Good job by Josh Hill bouncing outside, but Scott, when he started running east to west, you could see the speed on the Cartersville football team. The kicker, Trent Dittmer, running east to west, caused him to cut back and actually would be credited with that tackle on that play. It'd be 1st down and 10 for Woodland at the Woodland 23-yard line.
Well, the Wildcats will break the huddle and bring it up to the line. Got a new quarterback in this time. Running the offense now will be Michael Janisic. So second quarterback in the game after one series, and now he'll throw it over the top. He's got a receiver, and the ball is in the air and complete, and the Wildcats will get it across midfield into the Cartersville 49-yard line, but we've got a penalty flag on the field.
Yeah, they may get Trent Dittmer with interference on that play.
The receiver, Justin Sims, came back to the ball, making a fantastic catch. We'll see what the call is.
Wildcat quarterback that time was Michael Jennison. We have a flag on the field.
And may get him for offensive pass
Scott, that was a great pass by Janisic. He threw it where only his guy had a chance to catch it. And indeed, it was interference against Trent Dittmer. Dittmer had great coverage on the play, but just a great throw and catch by Janisic and number 8, Sims, on that play.
And that's going to be pass interference against the Canes.
I was trying to figure out what the official was doing there. He was going to mark it off and give him the game, but he did spot the ball. Woodland just inside Cartersville territory at the Cartersville 49-yard line on that play.
I believe it's one or the other on that one. And,
no, it's not both. I mean, they were going to end up with about a 50-yard play here.
So the Wildcats bring it up to the line. Again, they're going to work out of the wing tee. Janisic goes under center. They're going to send it back in motion, and now a penalty flag. Looks like it may be delay a game or maybe.
They're going to call Cartersville for jumping into the neutral zone from where we're sitting here, Scott. I didn't think they actually jumped into the neutral zone, but it's going to be a 5-yard penalty against Cartersville.
Offsides against the Hurricanes. Wildcats pick up 5 yards and be 1st and 5.
And Scott, it's good to see number 44 for Cartersville, Zori Murphy, in the football game, just getting released this week after that serious injury in the last football game against Stevens County in that playoff game.
That was one of the worst plays I've ever seen in high school football. One of the worst nights I've had calling a game watching that. Now we're gonna have an offside. Or this is gonna be a illegal procedure call against the Wildcats. The left side of the line moved a little bit. We'll get the call.
We got a dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
And there you get the call from Earl Wilkerson.
Scott, we'll start over now. It's going to be 1st and 10 after the offside against Cartersville and illegal procedure against Woodland. We'll start over, and that's 1st and 10. Woodland at the Cartersville 49-yard line.
So
Woodland really needing to get something going right here, Scott, with 4:43 to go in the first quarter, and Cartersville up 14-0.
Cats bring it up to the line, again out of the wing tee. This time they're going to send it back in motion, and they hand off right up the middle this time to Horace, who pushes his way across the Hurricane 49, maybe to the 48. They're going to give him forward progress for about a half a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
Woodland sent a man in motion and tried to come back underneath with Horace with the fullback trap, but Cartersville defense snuffed it out and played well on that play. Horace may have picked up a yard. They were generous and gave him a nice spot, gave him a yard on that play. Be 2nd down and 9 for Woodland, 1st down.
Well, the Wildcats making some substitutions. Leaving the game now will be
It's a mystery player. He's not in the book.
Dustin Cheek and somebody else wearing number 83. All right, Cats bring it up the line out of the wing tee. The drop back, Janisic throws, and it's incomplete. And the ball that time intended for number 18, Stuart Morse, and it goes incomplete. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long now, and a big play coming up for the Woodland offense.
The timing, Scott, was a little off on that play. Janisic threw that ball a little behind the receiver, Morse, on that play, and then number 6, Dittmer, just really put a good hit on Morse. He may have picked up 5 or 6 yards had he been able to catch that football. As it stands, it'll be 3rd down and 9.
Well, the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. They're going to run with 3 wide receivers to the left side of the formation, 1 in the slot. 1 to the right side is Morse, and this time Janisic goes under center. He rolls out to his left, has time, looks upfield, and now breaks one would-be tackler and gets drilled up at the 45-yard line. A gain of maybe 3 on the play. He's going to bring up 4th and 6 now for the Cats, and we'll see what happens. Will they punt it, or will they go for it in Cartersville territory?
Janisic that time sprinting to his left. Cartersville doing a good job of containing him. He had to pull it down and try to run for the 1st down. He only picked up about 3 yards on that play, and it looks as if Woodland is going to punt the football. Of course, if they don't make it here, they fake this one. Again, you set Cartersville up with a short field. Smart thing to do is try to pin them back and make them drive the length of the field.
Yeah, you've given Cartersville 2 short fields to start the game, and they've made you pay both times, and this time Nelson will kick it deep. He'll kick it away as Tate comes over to get it at the 15. He's going to turn upfield at the 20. Gets away from a would-be tackler and gets wrestled down at the 25-yard line. A return of almost 12 yards, and the Hurricanes will take over at their own 25-yard line, their worst field position of the night, but they do lead it by 2 touchdowns here with 2:48 to go here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and Woodland trying to punt that football out of bounds to pin Cartersville back, but number 32, Donovan Tate, doing a good job of fielding that football and actually returned it for about 16, 17 yards. That's field position. You know, had he let it hit the ground, that ball could have rolled inside the 10, but Tate doing a great job of getting Cartersville out to the 25-yard line.
Well, the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. Again, this time they're going to come out with 4 wide receivers, and I think the Canes may have broken the huddle with too many people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Scott, I thought they had 11. Oh, it's on Woodland.
Oh.
It's on defense. I've never seen that on the defense before.
Well, that's a pretty good trick. I never even look at that side.
You're having a tough time stopping.
On the red, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And there you get the call from Earl Wilkerson.
Scott, they couldn't stop him on the first 2 drives. I mean, try to slide in another guy, go with 12 on defense, and see if that makes a difference.
So now the Canes will work from the 30-yard line. Out of the shotgun comes Lyle Allen. 2:48 to play here on the Chuck Clancy scoreboard, and the Hurricanes lead it 14-0, and that time the play didn't fool anybody. A loss of 3 on the play. The ball carrier that time for the Canes was Tony Stevens, and he'll lose 3, bringing up, actually lose 1, bring up 2nd and 6.
Cartersville lining up in the Wake Forest spread on that play where they tried to come back underneath with Tony Stevens. Woodland playing man in the secondary on the wideouts of Cartersville now, and I think we're going to get Woodland for encroachment offside on this play.
Woodland having a tough time. I mean, you're playing a pretty good team tonight. It's your first game. It's probably one of the bigger home games you've had in a couple years, and unfortunately for them, they're giving Cartersville a lot of yardage.
Yeah, Scott, and give Cartersville credit, and this Woodland defense got their hands full tonight. This is a talented Cartersville offense. They've got a huge offensive line. They've got great skilled people. You got a veteran quarterback. It's going to be tough for a lot of teams to slow down the Cartersville offense.
This team has very quietly looked good in the offseason. They've not gotten a lot of hype, and that may change. Canes coming out of the shotgun this time. Allen drops back to pass, has some time, rolls out to his left, looks upfield, and now he's going to run it. Takes off, got the first down and more. He's across the 40 out to about the 44-yard line before he's wrestled out of bounds, and the Hurricanes will move the sticks. A pickup that time of almost 10 yards for Lyle Allen on 2nd down, and the Hurricanes will move the chains with 1:46 to play here in the opening quarter.
Protection breaking down for Lyle Allen on that play, and let me tell you about Lyle Allen. Scott, it doesn't look like he's really moving it fast because he's 6'2", 6'3", and he takes those long strides, but Lyle Allen has pretty good speed. We've seen that in the past. When he gets stretched out, he can really run the football.
There's the master there giving him the calls, and we may run another quarterback into the game right now as Donovan Tate.
Lyle got a little dirty on that play.
A little dirt in the face mask. I thought they were going to hold him out of play, but now he'll bring it up to the line. 1st and 10 the call. The Canes will work from the 43-yard line. This time they're going to send Timmy Baker and Donovan Tate wide to the left, or wide to the right rather. They throw it out to Baker. He's across the midfield stripe, and another first down, a pickup of 11 yards, and the Hurricanes will move the sticks.
Scott, I really like the way that Cartersville's coming out on offense. A lot of different sets, a lot of formations. They're throwing the football in the flats, throwing the football downfield, mixing up the run. I'm telling you, it's tough to stop. As you can see, number 5, Timmy Baker, Lyle Allen throwing a perfect pass out to Baker. Nice job on the tackle. Number 5 on that play for Woodland, Josh Hill.
So the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. This time they bring the big tight end Claiborne into the game, but they spread him out wide to the right side of the formation. Keep your eyes on him. I love the way that he looks in the pads, and he comes out standing about 6'5", 6'6", and he can go back and get the ball. And I think he'll be one of the first tight ends to really have a dominant presence in the offense here for Cartersville. And the Canes hand off right up the middle. Getting loose is Alexander. He's across the 30 at the 20, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And the Hurricanes with another huge pickup as they tack 32 yards on to Alexander's totals. And just like that, the Hurricanes are in business again.
Scott, you try to man up the wideouts. You try to stop the run, and try to stop the pass. But if you try to gang up on the pass, don't forget you got number 17 running 4.40s in the backfield. Morgan Alexander, he could take it to the house on any carry.
You have a pretty good 4x1 track team in the backfield here for the Canes. Dropping back to pass is Allen this time. Looks over the top, has some room now. He's going to run it, and he tucks the ball up, runs the other way, and here he goes across the 5 and dives toward the goal line, and he's in for 6. A 16-yard touchdown run by Lyle Allen, and they now lead this one 20-0 along the banks of the Etowah River. And this is very reminiscent of the last time the Hurricanes showed up here across the county back in the 1998 season.
Well, there you see number 14, another left-hander, doing his Mike Vick imitation. Number 14, Lyle Allen. Scott has said he's got pretty good speed, and he's deceptive. Lyle Allen can run. That was a great run by a quarterback on that play. 1 minute, 13 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and Trent Dittmer trying to make it 21 points for Cartersville.
Well, the snap is down for Dittmer. He puts it up and through the uprights. It's good. He's perfect 3 for 3 on the night, and the Canes now lead it 21-0 on the Chuck Clancy Automotive scoreboard. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the high school football game of the week, brought to you by Chuck Clancy Automotive. 1:13 to go here in the first. The Canes in full command. It's 21-0. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. And 1:13 to go here in the opening quarter. Cartersville with a commanding 21-0 lead along the banks of the Etowah River. And quite honestly, this Cartersville team very quietly kind of brought themselves to the level that they wanted to be during the offseason. Last week, they hung 50 on Adairsville with a very vanilla offense, and this week you're starting to see them open it up a little bit more, and it's already 21-0. A deep, deep kick into the end zone. Again, you cannot bring the ball out of the end zone in high school football, and Trent Dittmer puts that one away. And you've got a Saturday kicker there, too. That's one thing we haven't even talked about, are the special teams. Cartersville has dominated that so far today with the fake punt. The special teams, the punt return team came on to play great defense, and then Dittmer, a perfect 3 for 3, and he has put all 3 kickoffs within the 10, and that time he puts one in the end zone for the touchback, and that's, of course, the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's just a tremendous weapon when you can kick off into the end zone. You don't have to worry about anybody running one back 80 yards on you. Trent Dittmer has a strong leg, and Scotty looks much stronger than last year.
So Woodland will bring it up to the line. 1:13 to go here in the quarter, and they're going to hand off around the left end to Horace, who gets across the 25 out to about the 27-yard line. A pickup of 7 on first down, and that's one of the first good positive plays on first down for the Wildcats tonight.
Horace looking good running the football, as you can see on the replay. There's 36, Joseph Williams, getting kicked out by the tailback. Nice cut right there by Horace, getting north-south running the football, picking up 7 yards for the Woodland offense.
Great job there on the instant replay by the crew tonight. 41 seconds to play here in the opening quarter, and the Wildcats are going to bring it up to the line. They're going to run trips to the left side of the formation. One wide receiver to the right, one in the slot. And this time we got Bowles back in the game at quarterback. He drops back, throws it over the middle to Horace, and Horace is wrestled down. Might have lost a yard or two on the play, back at the 25-yard line. So lost a yard or two on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 now for the Wildcats offensively.
Yeah, and that's number 11, John Jansen. Horace stepping to the inside. That's old San Francisco 49er play, made famous by Bill Walsh, where the back comes inside and then breaks to the outside, trying to break off the linebacker, but Jansen was able to run Horace down.
Well, the Wildcats are going to bring it up the line, and that will do it for the first quarter of play at the end of 1 on the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. It is now Cartersville 21, Woodland nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the High School Football Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back. Second quarter of play just ready to get underway here. Cartersville leading it 21-0. On the High School Football Game of the Week here, brought to you by Chuck Clancy Automotive. And now it's time for our Aflac Trivia question, brought to you by Derek Strange, your local Aflac dealer here in Cartersville, Georgia. And, of course, our Aflac Trivia question tonight will be, last time Cartersville came here, it was the first game ever for the Woodland Wildcats, and the first touchdown ever scored here along the banks of the Etowah River was scored by who? That is the question. And we'll have your answer for you at the end of the next play.
So what do you get, Scott, for answering that question?
You get to know that you knew it.
And is Derek Strange and Aflac going to provide free insurance?
No, he'll give you a good deal, though, so you need to call him up. You'll see his number on the bottom of the screen. So the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. They are going to work out of the wing tee. Wide receiver to the left side of the formation. They're going to send it back in motion that time. It's Dale Rhodes, and they throw across the middle of the field. The ball is up in the air, tipped, and the Hurricanes pick it up. Ty Dittmer coming back the other way. He's across the 20, the 10, the 5, and Dittmer takes it down to the 1-yard line, and the Hurricanes are going to knock on the door to start the second quarter. And for all the excitement, let's get the answer to the Aflac Trivia question. You know it, Coach?
The first touchdown. I'm taking a guess, and I should know because I was on the sidelines. Ty Fize.
You're very close. That was the second touchdown. The first touchdown is actually working on the crew tonight, and he is down. He is down on our own sideline tonight, gripping for us tonight, and that is Brett Ward. He carried it in on a quarterback keeper, and that was the first touchdown ever here along the banks of the Etowah River in a varsity football game. And you see the instant replay right there, and tough break.
You see two Cartersville players. There's Troy Nelson, and there's number 45, Leon Payne, fighting over that interception. And, Scott, when I saw that Trent Dittmer had it, I knew they had a chance to score because Trent Dittmer can fly.
Well, Woodland will start on the 1-yard line, 11:44 to go here, and the Hurricanes will push it in for 6. A quarterback keeper that time right up the middle for Lyle Allen, and the Hurricanes put another 6 on the board. One play with 11:40 to go here in the first half, and the Hurricanes making a quick work of the Wildcats tonight, 27-0, as Trent Dittmer will come on for his 4th extra point here. Lyle Allen with his 2nd touchdown run of the night, and the 4th touchdown he's accounted for. That one up and good, and the Canes now lead it 28-0 on the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School football game of the week, and the Hurricanes with the quarterback keeper right up the middle, and you see Allen just pushing his way forward for 6, and just like that, the purple and gold absolutely dominating this one, 28-0 with 11:40 to go here in the second quarter, and we'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School football game of the week. And welcome back. You're watching the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School football game of the week. 11:40 to go here in quarter number 2, and the Hurricanes with a commanding 28-0 lead. And that time, Lyle Allen scores his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. He's also thrown for 2 tonight, and the Hurricanes in business early. 28-0 your score with 11:40 to play here in the first half. And this time, Dittmer will kick it off deep end-over-end kick, and it will roll into the end zone. And again, you cannot take a ball out of the end zone, not like anyone was going to get to that anyway. But the Wildcats will take over at their own 20-yard line.
Wow. Trent Dittmer, boy, I tell you, Scott, when you can kick 1-6 and 7 yards deep in the end zone, I tell you, that's just not only does it deflate the other team, it's a momentum builder for the defense, and just keeps everybody fired up in the game when your kicker is able to do that. And this game, Scott, still early in the second quarter, 11 minutes, 40 seconds left in the second quarter, and already Cartersville ahead 28-0.
Well, I think Woodland will be very excited to get back into Quad A football. We've said it a lot. AAA football is where the talent is statewide. Those are where your just stud teams are going to play. This time, the Wildcats hand off, and again stopped in the backfield. No gain that time for the Cats. Horace, the ball carrier.
Yeah, and I think somebody told number 21, Brian Long, what the play was, because he was there tackling Horace before he could even take a step. 4-yard loss on the play. Nice job of snuffing that play out with 21, Brian Long. Second down and 14 for Woodland for a first down.
So the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. They're going to work from the far hash mark, moving left to right on your screen, and the Cats will bring it up to the line. Again, they will work out of that wing tee. Janicek in at quarterback, finds Horace in the flat, and he's knocked out of bounds after a nice gain that time. And the Wildcats still short of the first down. Looks like it'll be 3rd and about 8. We'll see where the spot of the ball really is. Might have picked up 5 on the carry, and they did, so it'll bring up 3rd and 8.
And Horace being the workhorse for the Woodland football team. Nice decision by Janicek on that play to throw the ball out into the flats to Horace and allow him to pick up 5-6 yards with his legs on that play. It's going to be 3rd down and about 7 for a Woodland first down, and a badly needed first down for Woodland.
3rd and long for the Cats. They're going to send it back in motion. Janicek under center. This time he drops back to pass, has some time. Now comes the pressure, and they drop him in the backfield. Back at the 14-yard line, and the Hurricanes come on strong defensively.
And Scott, that was number 35 for Cartersville. Trey Ball, a senior, getting his first start. And I tell you, Trey Ball came in like he was shot out of a cannon. As you can see, the Woodland quarterback, Janicek, has not moved. As you look to the right side of the Woodland offensive line, as Janicek fakes right here, Trey Ball comes out of nowhere to make the sack on this play. And Scott, you can see, we hope that that's not a leg injury on Janicek right there, but that did not look good.
Well, Janicek is down. The trainers are working on him right now. One of the things that you're seeing in the trenches is just the physical, Cartersville just overpowering Woodland in the trenches. And I think this all comes back to the teams Cartersville sees year in, year out. Cartersville plays the Carrolltons, the Cedar Towns. Now they'll see Villarica again. These are big physical North Georgia football teams and West Georgia football teams that you start to see each week. And so that's what you're starting to see in the trenches there. Again, we got an injury on the field. We'll take a look at it again from the backside. 10:33 to play here in the second quarter. Cartersville leading it 28-0, and there you see the injury again. And just took that right knee into the ground. Hopefully he's all right. They'll be working on him. And while they do that, we'll take a quick break here on the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. 28-0 your score here midway through the second quarter. We'll take a quick break and come back right after this. And welcome back. You're watching the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. And not good news, Michael Janisic leaving the field with his arm in a sling. I guess that's better news than the knee injury, but obviously in a lot of pain, and they will now have to make the quarterback change. It is 4th and 16. The punt team coming in now, and Cartersville looks like they're going to get good field position. And there you see Janisic coming to the sidelines, and that's a tough break for him in the first game of the year. Hopefully it's just a sprain or something, but he looked to be in a lot of pain with that left arm. And now the kick shanked off the right side, and that ball is going to roll out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and that's where Cartersville will take over. So that punt nets less than 20 yards, and the Hurricanes are going to take over with excellent field position.
And Scott, that is not good for Cartersville to start a drive, as you can see here on the replay with Janisic. It was number 35 for Cartersville coming low, Trey Ball, and I think they had number 36, the linebacker, Joseph Williams, came down right there. You can see Janisic, and it was actually not on the arm he fell on, it was on the other left arm.
Left arm.
So I don't know if that was a result of the hit that came from Joseph Williams, or, you know, if he actually hit that left arm on the ground also.
Well, the Hurricanes will work from the Woodland 35, and this time they hand right off the middle, and Tony Stevens pushes his way for 5, and the Hurricanes will now face 2nd and 5. A good run right up the middle for Stevens, and the Hurricanes, again, just pounding out yardage here against Woodland. And I mean, the Canes shot out of a cannon, much like they did against Rome last year, and very, very hard to come back from a 4-touchdown deficit, especially to the speed. And you've seen just the speed and the physical play that Cartersville has brought tonight, and that has just been the difference from the get-go. The Canes wanted the football, and they took it, and they shot it right down the field.
Scott, you haven't heard a lot about number 3, Tony Stevens, but he's a very capable running back. Had a couple of good football games for Cartersville last year.
Especially against Rome.
Big game against Rome.
Big touchdown. 4 wide receivers this time. The Canes drop back to pass. Allen throws to the flat, has a receiver in Alexander. He's across the 20, still on his feet, and they're going to say he went out of bounds at the 21-yard line. That is a gain of 13 on the play, and the Hurricanes will move the sticks again.
Cartersville 1st and 10 now at the Woodland 20-yard line. 9:21 to go here in the second quarter. Cartersville ahead 28-0 over Woodland. Cartersville again lining up in the spread offense. Coach Barton sending the play in from the sideline. Scott, I know they spent a lot of time this spring at Wake Forest, and this is the kind of thing you see Wake Forest do. They line up, and the coach would actually make calls from the sideline. They'll come up to the line of scrimmage, and then the coach is actually going to make an audible, make a call right there from the sideline.
Well, Cartersville, I think, really surprised some people this summer when they went to South Carolina and blew out the competition in a passing league. Beat a lot of really good teams, including some good teams from the Palmetto State. And there you've got a little penalty flag on the line. That may be against the Canes. I like the way the line looks for the purple and gold. I've been really impressed by their play up front. Let's get the
Cartersville offense line looking very good.
Be a legal procedure against the Canes. We'll get the call from Earl Wilkerson.
We got a dead ball, false start on the white, 5-yard penalty.
Turned it off quick for us there, but you get the idea. 5-yard penalty brings up 1st and 15. It'll back the Canes up to the 25-yard line. And again, Cartersville's going to run with 4 wide receivers, no tight end. And this time Allen drops back to pass, has some time. Throws it to the flat, has the receiver in Tremble, and he's going to be wrestled down at the 26-yard line. No gain on the play, might have even lost a yard. Brings up 2nd and long.
A good job of number 5, Josh Hill for Woodland, making the tackle on Tremble. Cartersville got to work on that deep snap a little, Scott. You got the center, 57, Adam Thomas. Got to get the snap up a little, but you'll be surprised, as you see on the replay, Tremble making the catch. You'd be surprised how that low snap or that snap to the left or the right throws the timing off on the play.
Good tackle there by Jay Henry defensively, and here come the Canes dropping back, throwing it over the middle, and almost complete that time, just over the middle, and a tough break. Ball intended that time for number 13, Cody Nix. And again, Coach Barton talked about him in the preseason, about Cody Nix, just one of those really good athletes. He just comes out, plays second base and shortstop for the Canes. on the baseball team and has got great hands. You see a lot of baseball players starting to come out and play some football.
Scott, what I like is number 14. You can see Lyle Allen, knowing that the hit is going to come, stood in the pocket and delivered a strike right there to Cody Nix. A little behind him, but you got to catch that pass. Of course, Cody not playing last year. Still a little rusty from the all season, but he'll get it going before the season's over with.
Dakota Bunch with a good defensive effort there as well. 3rd down and long. The Hurricanes throw toward the end zone, and that ball up in the air and incomplete. And we got a penalty flag down. We're going to have some pass interference. We'll see. It was thrown forward, so it may be on the defense. It could have hit him for an offensive one, too, but I think the ball was over the head of the receiver by the time Tremble got to it. At that point, Tremble is a defensive back. Let's see what the call is.
It's going to be interference against Woodland, but the Woodland coaching staff, Scott, is saying that the football was tipped. And I'm not sure if they're talking about the line of scrimmage or not, but I didn't see a tip at the line of scrimmage, so I'm not sure what they're saying there.
Obviously, the Canes will take the penalty.
As you can see right here, Allen trying to get rid of the football and see if this ball gets tipped.
They haven't even walked off the ball yet. You see the.
We got illegal use of hands on the red. Pass the distance to the goal. Replay 3rd down.
That was Justin Lastly, Scott, for Woodland, putting the pressure on Allen. Couldn't tell from that angle if he hit the football. He might have hit the arm of Allen, but I'm not sure he hit the football. If he hits that football, then it becomes a live ball. You can hit the receiver before the ball gets there.
Well, the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. It should be an automatic 1st down, but they're not moving the chains. I guess that's not pass interference. That's illegal use of hands, so it brings up 3rd and 6.
Scott, you watch the snap here. It's been consistently low. Really got to get that snap up.
There you go. That's a good snap that time as Allen rolls out. Has some time, throws to the flat, has Tremble, who gets loose across the 10. He's going to be very near the 1st down marker. We'll see where the spot is. It may be just shy of the marker, and the Hurricanes may bring on the field goal unit. We'll see. Actually, no, they may not.
No, it's not going to be a field goal here. Scott, I can't tell you how tough it is. You can see Lyle Allen on the replay drifting to his right and having to hit a receiver coming across on a crossing route. That's a tough pass to throw, but Lyle Allen delivering the strike.
Great open field tackle to save the 1st down that time by Josh Hill. Josh Hill has really played well tonight for Woodland.
Scott, I tell you, I think he's got 7 or 8 tackles already in his 1st half.
So the Hurricanes, 4th and inches, and they're going to hand off right up the middle. They'll have the 1st down and more as they push it inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. Morgan Alexander, the ball carrier that time.
It's got a big key. If you want to know where the football's going, find number 75 when it's short yardage, because that's 6'5", about 290 pounds. That's Joseph Gilbert, who was the first commit for Georgia Tech this summer. Georgia Tech picking up 2 more commits, Scott, yesterday. Number 6'6", 320-pound Nick Clater out of Gainesville High School, taking Tech over Florida State and Auburn.
That was a smart move. Hurricanes bring it up to the line. They'll run with 1 back in the backfield. They throw up to Clyburn and incomplete. And that's what I like to see, but I like to hold on to the football a little bit. But that was a great-looking play up until the drop ball at the end.
Yeah, that was a great play by number 1, Phillip Adams, on that play. Nice throw right there. Good toss. You can see Clyburn has the ball, but Phillip Adams does a good job of breaking that ball up. That was just a great defensive play that time by Adams.
I'd like to see that basketball player go up for a ball. I'm telling you right now, Clyburn is going to be a big part of this offense by the end of the season, and that's something very new for Cartersville because tight ends have not caught a lot of football.
Scott, he's a wide out. He's not even a tight end. Yeah. He's a wide receiver.
Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. They'll bunch it tight to the right side of the formation. Clyburn lined up wide to the left side, and they drop back to pass, throw it over the middle, and there's a incomplete pass that time, I think intended for Donovan Tate, and it'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the 10.
Scott, and again, a nice throw by 14. Lyle Allen hit Tate in the hand. Tate caught the ball, but you got to give credit to the Woodland defensive backs. Jeremy Cleaver just made a great play and broke that play up. hit him right in the hands, and bam, there's Cleaver to knock it loose. But that's just good defense by Woodland.
See it there from the other angle, and again, nice defense. Good play that time by Cleaver. Rang the bell that time on the play. Here come the Canes again. 3rd and long. Allen's going to roll out. Breaks one would-be tackler, turns it upfield at the 10, stays on his feet down to about the 7-yard line. And it'll bring up 4th and goal now for the Canes, and we'll see what they try to do.
Cabral Hill, number 67, making the tackle. Defensive tackle for Woodland on Lyle Allen, and Cartersville is going to go for the field goal right here. 4th down and goal. They actually had scored a touchdown. Kicking off the left hash will be Trent Dittmer. The ball's going to be spotted on the Woodland 19-yard line, so it'll be a 29-yard kick for Trent Dittmer off the left hash.
Got a late player coming onto the field for the Canes. The snap is down. The kick is up and on the way, and it's good. He splits the uprights from 29 yards away, and the Hurricanes now lead it 31-0 on the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. We'll take a quick break and come back right after this. And welcome back. You're watching the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. 6:07 to play here in the second quarter, and it is 31-0. Cartersville on top of this one, and there's not a whole lot to say except for the Canes have dominated from one end to the other. We've seen some good defensive plays out of Woodland on that last drive, but Cartersville has started from the Woodland 39, the Woodland 32, their own 25, the Woodland 1, and the Woodland 35, and they have scored on all 5 possessions. Canes now kicking it off, and Dittmer with an end-over-end kick will send it down inside the 10. They lose the football. It's on the ground. That's a live ball. Picking it up is Hill, and he's going to be dropped back at the 11-yard line, and he is down. He'll quickly get up, though, and the Hurricanes have pinned the Wildcats back deep.
Yeah, Hill was not able to field that ball clean. As you can see it rolling on the ground here coming into the screen, and once that ball hit his hand and went towards his left, with the speed that Cartersville has, you knew he was going to have trouble.
Cartersville fans, you may not be aware that they're actually
There's number 5, Timmy Baker, just flipping him upside down, making a play. Woodland will start 1st and 10 off their right hash on the 12, 12, 13-yard line, Scott.
So the Cats will bring it up to the line. This time they're going to go twins to the right side of the formation. They send it back in motion, and they give it to him around the left end, running the football that time. Number 33, C. Horace. So Cordero Horace working it around the left end.
Horace still running the football hard. Woodland so far in the first half, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, has had only 1 first down on a long pass play from Janusek to number 18, Stuart Morse, and other than that, Woodland has not had a first down, which kind of surprising against this young Cartersville defense. Scott, as the year moves on, this young defense for Cartersville is going to get even better.
And they got a big test next week, though, when the Wolves of Beaufort, one of the best programs in the state, only a AA team, but this team has given Parkview fits in the last couple of years in jamborees. Now they throw it over the middle, and that ball caught very near the first down marker. Dale Rhodes, the ball carrier, on the reception. A pickup of, looks like about 3. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
And Woodland going to be 3rd down and 1 for first down with an opportunity to pick up second first down in the first half with 4:47 to go here in the second quarter. Woodland 0 and Cartersville 31. Woodland needing to pick up a first down here, if nothing else, to just eat up some time on the clock and keep the ball away from the Cartersville offense.
Wildcats this time pitch it out around the left end. Looking for the corner is Horace, and he's going to be drilled up at the 25-yard line, but I believe he's got enough for the first down, a pickup of 3 on the play. And that is the second time that Wildcats have moved the sticks tonight.
And I like the way that Horace is still running football hard, Scott, because they had him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss, but Horace running hard and doing a good job of picking up the first down for Woodland. Woodland 1st and 10 at the Woodland 25-yard line.
Trent Dittmer comes off the field for the Canes defensively. That means, looks like the Canes have brought in Byron Hall at one cornerback. Canes roll their coverage defensively, and here come the Cats. They throw to the flat, and again, the ball incomplete, intended for Horace, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that pass was intended for Horace, but number 48, Luke Pye, got his hand up at the last minute and kind of impaired the vision of Horace. Not able to catch that football. Nice job by Luke Pye. As you saw the decal on Horace's helmet, about to come off already.
Like the new duds that Woodland has this year, like the paw print on the helmet. I always think that's neat. I know they had the paw print turned one year, and I think they got a call from Clemson University and had to turn it the other way.
Oh, is that right?
Clemson's got the trademark on it.
Okay.
And I can't remember which way it goes, but I know one way or the other, Clemson's got the trademark. Out of the wing tee, they're going to send it back in motion. This time they run a little flea flicker underneath, and the Hurricanes aren't fooled. They stop them for no gain. Dale Rhodes, the ball carrier, gets hit and dropped for a loss of 1, and it will bring up 3rd and 11.
Yeah, they tried to run a little handoff trap inside, but Cartersville defense just swarming inside, gang tackling on that play. Cartersville was not fooled on that play. Woodland actually lost a yard on that play. It's going to be 3rd down and 11.
Well, traditionally, Cartersville has been very dominating against teams that run the option, any misdirection, because, of course, they run the wing tee with a lot of misdirection, so they see that every day in practice. And then I think Coach Barton is one of the best coaches for preparing a team defensively for any type of option. So when you start running misdirection, you're kind of in trouble, especially with this speed. This time they throw down the field, ball in the air, and is it complete? It is. Incomplete.
Of course, we didn't get a signal over
there.
there
From anybody over there.
You know, you just had to watch guys start running in and off the field, but it was an incomplete pass. But as you stated, Scott, the teams that really have had success against Cartersville have been those teams like the Carrolltons in Stephen County that run in between the tackles and run right at Cartersville.
Right.
And when you're able to run the football in between the tackles and mix it up with the pass, those teams have had a lot of success. But when you go east-west, very tough against the Cartersville defense.
In the last 10 years, the only teams that have had success against Cartersville have been very good teams. LaGrange, Carrollton, Washington County. Those are teams that have had success. Ball is down. Kick away, a high floating kick, one of the best punts of the night. Tremble goes back for it, and it rolls out of bounds at the Cartersville 34-yard line, and that is going to be the worst field position of the night for the Canes, and they will take over at their own 34-yard line. But that says a lot for this Cartersville football team and the tradition that they have. When you look back on the games they've lost, very good Stevens County team last year that could really run the football well. You're right, between the tackles. Carrollton could run the ball between the tackles and just did a lot of good things. Cedartown found some success last year, but they started to get things together.
If you can control the line of scrimmage, you got a chance. And that's one thing that a lot of teams have struggled against Cartersville defense is controlling the line of scrimmage.
And then there was, of course, Charlton County.
Oh, yeah.
That was just blazing fast, and we saw that in the state championship game last year. Hurricanes with a football. Allen rolls out, has some time, throws to Tremble in the flat. Gets across the 40, the 45, and Tremble will be wrestled out of bounds at the midfield stripe. A gain of 16 on the first play of this drive, and the Hurricanes will again move the sticks.
And Lyle Allen just kind of shoveled that pass into the flats to number 2, Jeremy Tremble. I thought he was going for the corner route to number 5 on that play for Cartersville, Timmy Baker. Timmy Baker looked like he had a step on the defensive back, but Lyle Allen made the right decision, and Tremble picking up 10, 11 yards on that play. First down, Cartersville at the Cartersville 46-yard line.
First and 10 for the Purple Hurricanes at the 47-yard line.
So the Canes have moved the chains here on the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. 31-0 your score. Cartersville on top of this one as Allen drops back to pass. Has a little bit of time, throws it over the top, has a receiver in Tremble, and it's going to be incomplete. No penalty flag on the play. Tremble went back for the football, and there was some early contact.
There was some contact, Scott. I thought that we were going to get a flag on that play. Woodland playing man-to-man against a 4-wide outlook that Cartersville's running right now, doing a good job of covering, but it's tough to cover 4 of those guys from Cartersville. Somebody is going to be a weak link right here.
The Canes will.
You can see Adams at the bottom of the screen already with his back turned, number 1, playing man-to-man against number 5, Timmy Baker. Allen steps back because now he's getting a play from Coach Barton. Now calling the play at the line of scrimmage.
So you see Allen going back under center. 4 wide receivers for the purple and gold. One back in the backfield. They drop back. Good protection. And this time Allen over the top has Tremble and just out of his reach. And Tremble was, as you said, 10, 15 yards ahead of everybody. And just a little bit overthrown that time by Lyle Allen. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long. And again, that could have been 6 very easily.
That's what I'm saying, Scott. When you try to man up against the 4 Cartersville wideouts, there's some guys out there pretty good speed. There's bound to be a mismatch somewhere.
Brings up a big 3rd down here for the Purple Hurricanes.
The Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. And Lyle Allen will come under center. Again, 4 wide receivers. This time he drops back, throws to the flat, has a receiver, and it's incomplete. That time intended for Tyler Blackwell. Remember, Tyler Blackwell playing middle school football. And this is the first time the Hurricanes have ended a drive without a score.
Yeah, and Tyler Blackwell should have caught that football. Lyle Allen hit him right in the hands. Just a quick pass right at the flats. I mean, right there in his hands. Trying to give him a chance to pick up the 1st down with his legs on that play. And Trent Dittmer will come on and punt for the first time tonight.
Start to hear the Woodland faithful getting into it. Now Woodland running a player on late. That's just something you can't have. And now you got a penalty flag. That's going to move the Canes up a little closer.
Yeah, and Woodland very fortunate because it was 4th and 10.
Yeah, had it been
this
4th
is going to make it 4th and 5. Yeah, had it been 4th and 3, 4th and 5, and you run a guy in like that.
Well, I don't think it'll change. I don't think it'll change anything.
And Scott, they're still sending guys in and out.
Seem in disarray out there right now. Back deep to receive now is Phillip Adams. As Dittmer, Adams standing his own 20. He better move back a little bit. Dittmer's got a pretty good leg. And that ball will roll and take a Cartersville bounce inside the 15 down to about the 13-yard line, and that's where Woodland will take over 1st and 10, and that is a big moral victory for the Wildcats. They stop the Canes, and at the 2:05 mark here in quarter number 2, Woodland is going to get the football deep in their own territory.
Scott, they're going to spot that ball at the Woodland 13, but I thought that ball actually touched Byron Hall at about the 20-yard line, but this official had a better look at it than I did. But Woodland be 1st and 10 at the Woodland 13-yard line. 2:05 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Cartersville 31, Woodland 0.
Mitchell Bowles under center. He's going to drop back to pass, has a little bit of time, throws to the flat, and it's incomplete. And that will stop the clock at 2 minutes. And
I'm telling you, Cartersville brought so much pressure that time on the quarterback. Scott, they really didn't have a time to throw the ball in the flats that time.
And, as I said earlier, I think Woodland's going to be very excited to get back into Quad A football and leave 6 AAA behind after back-to-back weeks. Last week, one of the things that Cass was in pretty good shape last week. This time, Woodland running around the right end. They're going to get hit and knocked out of bounds. A gain of 5 on the play. This is
2 linebackers, number 36, Joseph Williams, and number 45 again for Cartersville, Leon Payne, making the tackle on that play. Scott, I can tell you, Cartersville is absolutely loaded with talent in the 9th grade, 10th grade, junior class. A lot of players coming. Football really looking good for Cartersville for the next 3 to 4 years, but a lot of talent in those lower classes.
So Bowles will come under center. One back in the backfield. He drops back, throws it over the top, has a receiver. The ball's in the air and incomplete. Great play defensively that time by the Hurricanes' number 7, Byron Hall, and he comes up big with the deflection that time. And
nice,
play.
Nice defensive play by the right cornerback, Byron Hall. You saw him last week in the Jamboree game, gave up 1 deep to Daresville, but that was an excellent defensive play by Byron Hall. Of course, with it being 4th down and 5 and Woodland down 31 and maybe 47 to go, you got to kind of loosen back a little bit if you're a defensive back, and not give up a big play. Keep everything in front of you. Trent Dittmer coming in for Byron Hall. Byron Hall limping off the field with a slight injury on that play. But Woodland going to punt the football, 4th down and 5.
So Woodland getting ready to kick it away. The Hurricanes have 2 backs to receive it. The ball just gets away, and it's going to go out of bounds inside the midfield stripe at about the 49-yard line. So that's where the Canes will take over, 1st and 10. Woodland's possessions now. Turned it over on downs after a fake punt, an interception, and then 3 punts. So they are 0 for 6, 2 first downs on the night for the Wildcats. Cartersville getting the football again with an opportunity to get something going here with just minute 39. You may see the 2-minute drill now.
You will see the 2-minute drill, or in this case, it'll be the 1-minute drill. A lot of time on the clock for this Cartersville offense.
They'll work from the Woodland 49-yard line, and again, the Canes are going to come out, trips to the right side of the formation. One back to the right, and to the left rather, and Allen will come out of the shotgun and got a penalty flag. See what the call is from Earl Wilkerson. Offside on the Wildcats.
Woodland lining up in the neutral zone on that play. Cartersville lining up, Scott, with no backs in the backfield.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense. We got timeout red.
And the Wildcats will call for a timeout here on the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. 1:38 to play here in quarter number 2, and Cartersville with a commanding 31-0 lead, and they're 44 yards away from where they want to be before the half. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the High School Football Game of the Week. And welcome back from the timeout here with 1:38 to play here in the first half. Canes up 31-0, and the Hurricanes on the move. They'll work from the Woodland 44-yard line as Allen comes out of the shotgun. This time he drops back under some pressure, throws to the flat, has a receiver, and moving upfield across the 30 and out of bounds at the 26-yard line. That time is number 8, Tyler Blackwell, and the Hurricanes pick up 16 on first down.
That's another running back for Cartersville, number 8. Tyler Blackwell out of that sophomore class, 32 Donovan Tate, 17 Morgan Alexander, and there's number 8, Tyler Blackwell. A lot of talent in the sophomore class for Cartersville.
That takes Lyle Allen over the century mark, and this time Allen dropping back, and now we've got a penalty flag on the play.
And there's going to be a motion by Cartersville, number 32. I think that was on Tate, moving before that ball was snapped.
Just saw a great leadership move on the field. Trey Goff was pushing a little bit after the play, nothing big. And Joseph Gilbert came in to settle down his younger brother, Daniel. It was a little hot, and he didn't want to hang.
Well, he's coming out of the football game
Yeah.
right now because he's still hot.
Yeah. But just that's why you have seniors on your team. You saw it right there.
And now he's got Coach Barton hot. And now Coach Jones is hot.
But the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. They're going to go with 3 wide receivers to the right side of the formation, 2 to the left, a 5-receiver package, no back in the backfield. So the Hurricanes are going to throw the football here. Dropping back is Allen. He has time, throws it over the top, has a receiver, and almost complete inside the 5. That time intended for Donovan Tate. And that ball just flickering in and out of the arms of Donovan Tate.
Pass was a little low. Tate would have had to make a great catch on the play, but Donovan would tell you yourself that's a pass that he should have caught. You can see Allen delivering the pass, and he threw it where only Donovan Tate could catch it, just slightly behind him. But I tell you, in about 3 or 4 more games, Tate won't drop any of those.
Yeah. Again, we're going to go 5 wide receivers for the Canes. 2nd and 15 the call. Allen out of the shotgun. This time he drops back to pass. Again, has some time. Under some pressure, throws it, and tries to get rid of it. No intentional grounding call, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. There was a receiver in the area, and Tyler Blackwell was the intended receiver, and he was in the flat, so
Well,
it might have been in the grass.
he was trying to get the ball to Blackwell. Scott, I think that was a ruling on the play. You know, it didn't get there to him, but because of the hit by the defensive lineman, it didn't get to where it was supposed. He was not throwing the ball away. He was trying to get it to Black. You can see right here, Allen on the play trying to get the ball to Blackwell, but couldn't because of the tackle.
So it'll be 3rd and 15 now for the Canes as Allen brings it up to the line. He's going to come out of the shotgun, 5 wide receivers. And this time Allen drops back to pass, has a little bit of time, looks over the top, has a receiver, and almost into the hands of Tim Baker at the goal line, and it's going to bring up 4th and 15. And again, Allen is putting the ball on the numbers, and guys are just
Scott,
dropping them.
Timmy Baker may have gotten away with one on that play. I think there was a push-off by Timmy Baker, but they did not call the offensive interference. As you can see on the pass, watch right here with his hands. There's the push right there. Or maybe Josh Hill just fell. I'm not sure, but something happened right there, whether it was a push or Hill fell. Nevertheless, nice pass of 14, Lyle Allen.
1 minute to play here in the second quarter, and the Hurricanes are going to bring it up to the line. Lyle Allen out of the shotgun. 5 wide receivers again, no back in the backfield. Here come the Wildcats with the pressure and throwing it over the top, and Tremble is there and incomplete. That time deflected at the last second. And good job defensively by the Wildcats, and they will take over on downs with 52 seconds to play here in quarter number 2. So Woodland will get the football, and now we got another Wildcat down on the field.
You can see Lyle need to get that ball up just a little more, but again, a nice defensive play by the Woodland defensive back. It's number 3 on that play, Dakota Bunch. I think he got the wind knocked out of him on that play, but Bunch making a nice breakup at the last minute on that play.
Well, while we've got an injured player on the field, we'll take a quick timeout with, after this replay here, as you see Allen throwing it over the top, Tremble going up, and great job that time by Dakota Bunch to break it up. And they'll take a quick timeout. We will as well. 52 seconds to play here in quarter number 2 on the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back. Woodland bringing it up to the line. They're going to come out, one back in the backfield, double slots, and dropping back as Bowles throws over the middle, and the ball is almost picked off that time. John Jansen coming on to make the play, but just couldn't hang on to it. It'll bring up 2nd and 10, and the clock will stop with 46 seconds to play here in quarter number 2. This has been a long football game.
Scott,
we've played entire games in 2 hours before.
I think we've had about 10 or 12 plays in the last minute, 47 seconds. But really, it's in the last 60 seconds, we probably had about 12 plays total from both sides. John Jansen won't get an opportunity for an easier interception in that one. Woodland trying to run the receiver screen underneath, and Adams couldn't hang on.
Well, Bowles drops back, throws to the flat, and that one's incomplete. And the clock stops again, makes 3rd and 10 with 42 seconds to play here in the second quarter.
Bowles trying to throw the quick out to Adams, but number 10, Troy Nelson, the safety for Cartersville, got right into the line of the throw, and he caused Bowles to have to throw that out route deep over the head of Adams on that play. Nice job by Troy Nelson, the defendant on that play.
So Woodland will bring it up to the line. 3rd and 10 the call with 42 seconds to play here in the second quarter. And the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. They're going to run with 1 wide receiver to the right side of the formation. And they got a couple guys in motion there. No penalty flag.
Scott, how could you
how
not
could you not have a penalty flag on that?
Flag on that play.
3 guys moving. Well, 37 seconds to go here in the second quarter. 31-0 your score, and that brings up 4th and 10. And now I believe the Wildcats will punt. You may get to see another crack. I mean, I don't understand why Woodland's not just running the clock out and getting to the half, trying to throw the ball. I mean,
you don't want to give Cartersville a chance to fill the punt, and one of those guys.
And you've had 2 almost interceptions here too. And now you're gonna punt to them and give Cartersville a crack at their 2-minute drill again. The snap is back, kick is up and on the way right down the middle, so the Canes are going to get a return here, and they're going to put it in the hands of Speedy Alexander, and he turns the corner at the midfield stripe, still on his feet, down to the Woodland, still on his feet at the 35, and down to the Woodland 33-yard line. So
Scott, I don't know where he came from. I thought he went down at about the 50, and somehow Morgan Alexander got out of the traffic, picked up an additional 15 yards on that play. 21.4 seconds left in the half, but like you said, Scott, why are you throwing the football and giving the Cartersville offense an opportunity to score? As you can see, 17, Morgan Alexander. It looked as if he was stopped there, but he tight-roped the sideline, picked up additional 15 yards on that play.
So Alexander will bring him up to the line. After a great return on the punt, 1st and 10 the call. Allen's going to come out of the shotgun, and now the Canes get to run 4 more plays here. They got
Scott,
21
they've got
seconds.
3 timeouts left.
Right. We got an equipment problem on the field. One of the Woodland players, that is number 4, Jeremy Cleaver, is got something wrong with his helmet. Now he's going to go to the other side defensively. Coming over this way will be number 34, Jay Henry. And the Hurricanes out of the shotgun. No backs in the backfield. Now Allen's going to throw it over the top. He's got a receiver in Tremble and just out of his fingertips. Again, a great ball, and now we got a penalty flag in the backfield. That could be a personal foul. We'll see what the call is.
Scott, you're right. That pass was just off the fingertips. The Tremble on that play. And, of course, with a rivalry game, what you don't want to see when the frustration starts, you don't want to see the unsportsmanlike conduct, the penalties on either team.
It's going to be a personal foul against the Wildcats. We may have an ejection, too.
We got a dead ball. Personal foul on the red. He's ejected from the ball game.
Yeah, I thought that would be an ejection, and it was. That's number 79, Troy Goff, and he hit Lyle Allen way behind after the play was dead, and that was a good call by the
Scott,
official.
we'll try to come back later if we can and see exactly what happened on that play. But, as you said, you don't want to see this late in the game. Penalties start and you get frustrations, and you actually lose some people that you're going to need the next week. As you said, Woodland's going to be
they got a region game next week.
Region game next week.
He can't play next week.
He cannot play.
He can't even suit up or be in the stadium next week. So 15 yards against the Wildcats. The clock still has 15 seconds on it, and this is going to give Cartersville an opportunity to score something before the half.
And, Scott, you see Cartersville in the shotgun. You see the 3 wides and 2 wides. You're going to see this all year from Cartersville. Coach Barton has stated they're going to throw the football. He feels like they've got the wideouts, they've got the personnel, they've got the quarterback to put it up in the air.
He said all those people that sit up in the stands and say, throw the ball, Coach, they're going to get their wish this year. Allen drops back to pass, has a little bit of time, throws it over the middle, has a receiver in Tremble, and he's going to be wrestled down. And the clock will continue to run. The Hurricanes should burn a timeout. And they do. The Canes will burn a timeout with 6.4 seconds to play here in the first half.
Yeah, Cartersville Coach Barton was trying to get the timeout a little earlier and couldn't get the clock stopped. But, what do? You kick a field goal here, you take a shot at the end zone.
You know what I like about this year? We'll leave it right here during the timeout. We'll talk a little bit about it. Coach Barton was a quarterback in college. He loves coaching quarterbacks. And he's had great quarterbacks throughout the year, but he's also had so many people around them that they really haven't had a quarterback-led football team here in probably about 10 years. I mean, maybe in the first year when first year I was here in '96, and Coach Barton's first year with Brad Maddox, that may have been a quarterback-led team. But really, they've not had a passing team.
Scott, I can tell you, Cartersville has definitely not had a 3-year starter at quarterback in over probably 20, 25 years. You'll have to go back a long time to find a quarterback that's been a 3-year starter for Cartersville, and that's Lyle Allen.
And, really, I think when you had one of your best leaders at quarterback was Brett Ward, but he didn't throw the ball that much. He ran the ball well because he was almost like a running back in a quarterback position. And I think that this is really one of the first times that Coach Barton has got an opportunity to let a quarterback run the show and work with him. And I think you're going to see a very interesting year.
Of course, number 7, Lee Miles, was not bad throwing and running.
Yeah, well, I forgot about that. That's true, too. But And they went to the Dome that year, too. Here comes Allen, dropping back, throws over the middle, and ball is incomplete. 1.5 seconds to go, so the Canes will get another play. So the Canes will get another shot at the end zone here.
And he had number 32, Donovan Tate, open in the middle. Tate running a slant route. Allen just missed him across the middle, but Donovan Tate was open on that play.
You probably won't see a lot of the starters after about midway through the third quarter, so Coach Barton wants to work on the offense. Again, they got a big game to prepare for next week. This is one of the bigger games this program has faced.
Yeah, and the thing Cartersville's got to be concerned about right now, Scott, is not showing too much to Buford. You're already up 31-0, so you don't want to show any more than you have to win this football game.
Well, the Canes have taken a timeout with just 1.5 seconds here on the clock. We'll take one as well real quick here on the Chuck Clancy High School Football Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back. You're watching the Chuck Clancy High School Football Game of the Week as the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. They will come out with, again, the 5 wide receiver package. Look at the top right of your screen there as Clyburn comes in as a receiver. And this time Allen drops back, throws to the flat, has Tate in the end zone and just in and out of his fingertips on the last play of the half. And Cartersville will head to the locker room with a 31-0 lead. And Cartersville is absolutely dominating this game from one end to the other. And what a fantastic half of football for Cartersville. Actually, Woodland having some bright spots here and there, but it has been a long night so far for the Woodland Wildcats, and that could have been 6 right there for the Canes. Cartersville will head to the locker room with our score 31-0. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have the United Community Bank halftime show, and we will see both of these great bands from Cartersville and Woodland High School. Again, at the break, 31-0 your score. We'll be right back after this.
as they perform a 21st century interpretation of America from West Side Story. All of their instruments may not be what you're accustomed to seeing, but are sure to be entertaining. At this time, the majorettes will be featured as they perform to the 1970s hit tune, Celebrate.
welcome back. You're watching the high school football game of the week, brought to you by Workhorse Productions and Chuck Clancy Automotive. I'm Scott Singer along with Donald Rucker as we get ready for the second half of play. And first, we'll recap the scoring from half number 1. The Hurricanes on the board first at the 10-13 mark. Donovan Tate catches a 14-yard touchdown pass from Lyle Allen, and just like that, the Hurricanes led 7-0. Then at the 5:45 mark, Donovan Tate caught another 14-yard touchdown pass from Lyle Allen. That made it 14-0 with Trent Dittmer's extra point. Then a 16-yard touchdown run by Lyle Allen made it 21-0 at the 1:13 mark in the first quarter. Lyle Allen did it again on a 1-yard touchdown plunge at the 11:40 mark in quarter number 2. And again, Trent Dittmer added his 4th consecutive extra point, 28-0 the score there. And then Dittmer split the uprights from 29 yards away to make it 31-0. And that is your score at the break. Cartersville actually could have made it a lot worse. They struggled down the stretch trying to run a 5-wide receiver package and just a little out of sync toward the end of the first half, and it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, Cartersville had opportunities, got to score a couple more touchdowns right at the end of the second half. Of course, you know, Coach Barton's not going to be pleased with that, but this is the first game of the season. A lot of kinks to be worked out, and you can go out and practice and, run your 5 wides and run the spread offense, but until you actually get in the game situation, you really can't work all of your kinks out. But now they're going to have an opportunity to go back and review the film and really work hard on mistakes and improve on those things that they need to improve on. So, you want to get kids on tape and let them see, where the areas are that they really need to concentrate on. And that's going to be big for next week. The improvement they make from week 1 to week 2 is going to be a big key because they are playing a great football team, and you're going to have 2 football teams line up, Scott, next week that are just loaded with tradition on both sides, and just exciting atmosphere next week with Beaufort coming into Wyman Stadium.
That's probably one of those games you may see a couple cameras from Atlanta coming up to take a look. It's going to be a very interesting week, but still have 24 minutes of football to play here. Quarter number 3 just about ready to get underway. There you see the Hurricane sideline. Coach Barton has brought his Canes in here. A young squad this year, but don't seem to be struggling here against their county rival. But again, next week won't be a big test when Beaufort comes. That's going to be a very interesting game. And, Cartersville, you'll probably see some of the starters on here for another 6 or 7 minutes, and then I would think they would probably go to some of the younger guys and give them an opportunity. And this is one of the great things that Cartersville does year in and year out. They let those younger guys play third quarter, fourth quarter, and by the end of the year, you've got a lot of guys with some varsity experience.
Well, and there's a kid like John Jansen, a junior, who got an opportunity to get in late in some of those games last year, and then before the year was out, somebody goes down, and John Jansen's able to step in and play as a sophomore at linebacker, and those minutes were very valuable for this year, where he now becomes one of the leaders on defense for the Cartersville football team. So it is important that those guys get in and play, because those guys are only one injury away from being in the starting position the next week. So you got to get those guys opportunity. Instead of trying to run up points and score 70, 80 points against people, it's more important to get experience for those other players.
Well, Woodland trying to get something on the board here. They will get the ball first to start the second half. Trent Dittmer will line it up to kick this one away. Dittmer has been fantastic on kickoffs, and it continues here as he takes that one deep into the end zone. Again, it doesn't matter there, but the rule in high school football is as soon as the ball crosses the plane of the goal line, you cannot return it. I don't understand why that's a rule, but it is.
I don't either, Scott. I never thought about it, but you can intercept in the end zone and bring it out, and you could actually have a 106-yard interception for a touchdown, but you can't field a punt or a kickoff in the end zone. I don't, like you said, not a lot of consistency in that.
I don't understand the reasoning, but that is the rule. So the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. They will bring it out with a wide receiver to the left side of the formation out of the wing tee. One back in the backfield is Horace, and they pitch it to him around the left end. He's looking for the corner, and he's going to turn it up at the 25, the 30, and out at the 32-yard line. And a nice run there for Horace on the opening play of the second half.
Yeah, just a quick pitch to the left side to Horace on that play. 33, running back for Woodland, was able to pick up, about 11 yards on that play, and it's going to be 1st and 10. Woodland from the Woodland 31-yard line.
That is the 3rd first down of the game for the Wildcats, and they'll bring it up to the line. Again, the Cats will work from the near hash mark. And under center is Mitchell Bowles, who gets the call here after the injury to Janicek, and that time Horace is hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Great play defensively, and on the tackle that time for the Canes was number 10, Troy Nelson.
Scott, what I really like about 33 Horace, he's still running hard. I mean, he's getting hit hard right here, but he's still fighting, still running hard. Ran into his own man initially on that play, and then you see Troy Nelson with a host of other Canes coming in to make the play.
Great play defensively that time after a gain of 1. Brings up 2nd and 9. 11:15 to go here in quarter number 3, and the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. Again, out of the wing tee. Bowles goes under center. Horace, the lone setback. He drops back to pass, has time. They throw over the top. Ball is tipped in, intercepted, and a great play that time by Troy Nelson. And Nelson making a name for himself, and the Hurricanes will take over with excellent field position.
Troy Nelson, a senior strong safety for Cartersville, getting opportunities. You can see on the replay to step in and play. You got a defensive lineman for Cartersville. Couldn't see where it was, batting that ball in the air. And there's Leon Payne again going for the interception. Troy Nelson on the tip drill, picking a pass off, and now Cartersville 1st and 10 again, as you can see again on the replay. Nice job by Leon Payne making sure that that ball was not caught. But Cartersville will be 1st and 10 on the Woodland 28-yard line.
So the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. They're going to split a wide receiver to each side and an offset eye, and this time they're going to hand it up the middle, and running the football is number 21, Brian Long, and he pushes his way forward for a couple. And a nice job offensively as the Canes get some of the younger guys in the backfield.
Yeah, Brian Long, a starter. As you can see, Troy Nelson on the Cartersville sideline. Brian Long, a starter on the defensive line for Cartersville. Now getting an opportunity to go in at tailback, and he is a bruiser of a running back, just bulling his way there for 6 yards on the play. 2nd down and 4 for Cartersville. It's kind of tough to see right here. Scott, your eyesight may be a little better than mine. Looks like about the 23-yard line of Woodland.
They're saying it's spotted at the 20 on the scoreboard, but we'll see. Yeah, I think it is at the 20-yard line, and the Hurricanes bring it up the line. They pitch it off in the backfield, and running the football that time is number 47. That is Robbie McAfee.
Robbie McAfee. Nice cut there by McAfee, a sophomore for Cartersville. Again, one of those young kids that played on the junior varsity football team, doing a good job running football for Woodland. Number 34, Henry, making the tackle.
I might have lost a yard or no gain after all the work there, and now the Canes will bring it up to the line again. And Brian Long in the backfield with Tony Stevens as they work out of the eye for the first time, and they hand off to Stevens up the middle, who bulls his way inside, pushing his way inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. A pickup of 14 on 3rd down, and the Hurricanes are going to move the sticks.
Cartersville showing the versatility of this offense, now lining up with flanker, 2 tight ends. As you can see, the trap, 71 Gilbert on the pull. There's Tony Stevens, and look at him lower his head and just run through the defensive back, picking up another 2 to 3 yards on that play.
Reminds me of Craig Hayward there running the football, just lowering the shoulder and pulling people with them.
He's got a son in Gwinnett County, 6'4", 275.
This time the Hurricanes run right up the middle, and again, pushing his way forward is Long down inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. And the Hurricanes came out finesse in the first half, put up 31 points, really should have put up about 45, and now they come out and just run it up the middle here, showing their power here in the 3rd quarter. So Cartersville really working on a couple different things tonight and getting ready for that big contest with Buford next Friday night.
I tell you what, Brian Long on that play, Scott, really with a new jersey at number 21, kind of has a Terrell Johnson look about him when he's running the football. Kind of have to look twice at him, make sure that it's not Terrell Johnson.
It looks like Terrell Johnson out there. Actually, it looks like Brian Long. And there you go, Tony Stevens into the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Hurricanes now lead it 37-0. And they will now bring Trent Dittmer in to kick the extra point.
Not only do you see the versatility of the Cartersville offense, Scott, they're coming in with new running backs that haven't even been in the game before. And it doesn't matter who Cartersville gives the football to, but the offensive line doing a great job of just coming off the football and really just mashing that left side of the Woodland defense. Trent Dittmer kicks, and
it's good.
Good again.
So Dittmer, and I'll tell you what, Dittmer's got a great coach over there on the sidelines this year. And we'll tell you about that when we come back from the break. Again, you're watching the Chuck Clancy High School Football Game of the Week. 8:05 to go here in quarter number 3. The Canes lead at 38-0. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back. 8:05 to go here in quarter number 3, and the Hurricanes are set to kick it off. They lead at 38-0 here in this battle of two Bartow schools. Cartersville will then play Cass later on in the year in a region game. It'll also be for the county championship because since Cartersville has...
Are you counting that Jamboree game? That's one thing I like about Jamborees. You always got an excuse.
There you go. You kick one down the line, and that ball is going to go toward the sidelines. It could have gone out of bounds. They should have let it roll, but they're going to run that one back the other way and running the football across the 20 out to about the 24-yard line that time was number 22, Dale Rhodes. Nice return, but if he let the ball go out of bounds, Woodland would have got the ball at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Scott. That ball was going out of bounds there. As you can see, Rhodes is going to pick it up, but hey, Rhodes is trying to make something happen, wanting to make a play right here, so he's going to scoop it up and try to make a play.
Maybe he was further from the sideline than we think from up here.
Could have been.
Yeah. Well, a little hold there in the backfield, but nonetheless, that hey, you see a lot. It's a lot easier to see it on a lot easier to see these plays when you're looking at them in slow motion. All right, the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. They're going to go a wide receiver to the left side of the formation. Now they're going to switch the wingbacks, and again, Bowles goes under center and got a penalty flag. We'll see what the call is.
We got an illegal shift or something here.
Now we got a new quarterback in there. We have number 12, Charles Busey, in there at quarterback now. So Charles Busey getting the call. He is the third quarterback to play tonight. And the Wildcats will bring it. That'll be an offside call.
Well, I think we had an illegal participation, Scott, that time against Cartersville on that play.
So it brings up 1st and 5 now for the Wildcats with 7:35 to go here in the third quarter. This has been the fastest quarter, but then we've seen some rushing attack here. Wildcats with the football, and this time they hand off to Horace around the left end. He's looking for the corner, and the Canes close on him quickly. Very little gain for the Wildcats offensively, and 7:20 now. The clock continues to run. It'll be under 7 minutes before the next play.
Yeah, nice play by number 45, Leon Payne. We've called Leon Payne's name a few times, but done a good job at the linebacker spot. As you can see, Payne just knifing in right here to make the play. Got to like the effort also by number 35, Trey Ball, just pursuing hard from his defensive lineman position, from the nose guard position. Trey Ball getting a chance also as a senior and really having a good football game tonight.
And again, Busey going under center, drops back to pass, now under some pressure. He's going to roll out, and he'll run for his life here, and the Hurricanes knock him out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Great play defensively that time by the Hurricanes' Brian Long, and he's doing it on both sides of the field. I tell you what, he looks good in that uniform this year.
Yeah, he does look
good. He has grown up a little bit in the summer.
He is. Going both ways now, playing a little tailback and some at defensive end. But again, 35, Trey Ball coming in from the nose guard position. Almost got the sack on the quarterback, but forcing Busey out of the pocket to scramble. It's going to be third down and about 3 for Woodland first down here. Of course, bad things have happened when Woodland has attempted to throw the football, so expect them to keep it on the ground right here.
Well, the Wildcats will bring it up to the line. They're going to send a back in motion, and this time they hand off to the fullback, Horace, around the right end. He's looking for the corner, breaks a tackle, gets up across the 40, and is going to be wrestled out of bounds at the 43-yard line, and that's good enough for a Wildcats first down.
Did a good job of running the ball that time again by Horace, but some poor tackling also in the corner by Cartersville on that play. But, you know, like I said, Scott, give Horace credit. He's still running the football hard. It's very easy when you're down 38-0 to just lie down and go down on first contact, but Horace is still running football hard for Woodland.
1st and 10 the call. They'll work from the 43-yard line as the Wildcats bring it up. They'll run out of the wing tee. Wide receiver split wide to the left side of the formation. Busey drops back, throws to the flat, and that ball is going to be picked off, and it's going the other way. It goes Francis Duncan, and he is going to take it 44 yards to the house, and the Hurricanes lead it 44-0.
Scott, what a what a treat for Francis Duncan. Gets to come in his first varsity game, comes in at cornerback and picks one off and goes to the house. I stated earlier, bad things have happened when that ball's gone in the air, and Boosie trying to throw it out route, and Francis Duncan did a great job of breaking on that football. As you can see on the replay, good job at Luke Pye, 48, getting his hands up. Duncan picks it off, and when you pick off an out route, there's nobody else down the sideline. You've got an easy score
look,
down the sideline.
That kid is an athlete right there. They are just bringing him off the bench, right and left, and you see it again on the instant replay. The snap is down, the extra point, it's up and good. You're not missing anything there. Trent Dittmer is perfect again, and we'll take a look at this instant replay. And what a play by Francis Duncan, and that's a name you're going to hear again because he is a good-looking athlete. Look at the speed as he just tears off down the field, and he got a hold of that one, and he is gone. 44 yards in for the score. Cartersville up 45-0. And I believe they have covered this one as the Canes on the board again. 45-0 your score with 6:15 to play here in the third. We'll take a quick break and come back on the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. And welcome back. You're watching the High School Football Game of the Week. 6:15 to play here in quarter number 3. And Cartersville in command now 45-0. And Trent Dittmer will get another opportunity to kick off. I can't say enough about him. We talked about it earlier. He's always been a good kicker, Coach. But this year I think he's got something special as Kyle Tucker has come back to coach the special teams and defensive backs. Kicks that one down to the 5-yard line. And here come the Wildcats back the other way. They've got a lane outside. And Dittmer is the last line of defense. And he makes a tackle. So Woodland, with their best field position of the night, will get it at their own 48-yard line. Great return that time. Looks like Phillip Adams on the return, and Trent Dittmer with a great open field tackle, and that's a guy that also plays on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Trent Dittmer, tremendous athlete. Like you said, Scott, not only does Cartersville get the advantage of having Kyle Tucker as a defensive back coach, but doubles as a kicking coach, which is just a huge advantage, considering, as you can see the replay with Adams and Trent Dittmer making the play, but he has college experience kicking, and that's just a huge advantage for Cartersville.
This time they're going to send it back in motion, and they give it to him around the left end. The Hurricanes trying to get to the corner. Woodland breaking it outside, and a great run that time by number 22, Dale Rhodes, as he gets into Cartersville territory down to the Hurricane 37-yard line. A pickup of 14 on first down, and just like that, the Wildcats will move the chains.
Yeah, and a lot of substitutions now for the Cartersville defense. That time they were able to get to the corner. Nice block on the corner on Francis Duncan on that play, and Woodland able to get a big play.
And there you see the run there by Rhodes. Again, Bowles back in at quarterback now for the Wildcats. This time they pitch it out to Horace, who's looking for the corner, and John Jansen comes on to make the tackle after a gain of a couple. Horace pulls him for 4 or 5. And that'll bring him down to the 34-yard line. A gain of 5 on first down brings up 2nd and 5. One of the things, as we're talking about Kyle Tucker, I really believe that last season Clemson had one of the best kickers in the nation. He did not win the Lou Groza Award, but was invited as a finalist for that award. That's to the nation's best kicker. And Kyle worked with him in the summer, working out with him and helping him and getting his rhythm down. And he may not have been his position coach, but Kyle was working in the athletic department and had a lot to do with his success. So I think you'll see a lot here with he has worked in the past summers. He has worked with Trent Dittmer and is responsible for what he's done already. And now working with him full time as his job is really going to help him. I think he will be a Saturday kicker.
Yeah, that's like I said, that's just a plus for Cartersville having Kyle here back at Cartersville High School.
Well, a nice run there of 7 yards, moves the sticks for the Cats, and they are down to the Hurricane 28-yard line. And this is the best movement offensively tonight for the maroon and silver. The Wildcats bring it up to the line. This time they're going to pitch it off on the wing, and Horace breaks one would-be tackler, steps inside, and gets down to the Hurricane 25-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play.
And Scott, on that play, number 70 for Cartersville, a freshman, Tyler Higgins, going at about 6'2", 255, 260 pounds, running down the line, making the tackle on that play. Like I said, Scott, they've got the athletes, freshman, sophomore, junior class. They're still coming. But Tyler Higgins, another good-looking lineman for Cartersville.
Well, about a year ago, Cartersville had a very good middle school football team, and I think that a lot of these guys are, a couple of years ago, I guess it was 2 years ago, they had a very good middle school football team, and they're starting to get these guys in. And there goes Horace right up the middle against some of the younger guys, and he's inside the 10 to the 5, and great open field tackle inside the 5, and a gain of 20 on the play.
Ty Davis, number 23, saving the touchdown on that play. As you stated, Scott, Cartersville made a lot of substitution on the
31 yards here in the third quarter against some of the younger guys for Horace.
Yeah,
but up until that point, 5 carries for 13 yards, and that's really spells the reason for tonight's score.
And Cartersville has brought some of their front liners back in. They're working on their goal line defense now with 75, big Josh Gilbert in there also. So they're going to try to work on the goal line defense now.
Gilbert steps inside, and again they look for the corner, and Horace is going to get into the end zone for 6, and that is the first touchdown of the year for the Woodland Wildcats here in 2006. So at the 3:20 mark in the third, Cordell Horace scores on a 5-yard touchdown run. And now they will line up for the extra point. Coming in to attempt it will be Chaz Johnson. And so he gets the opportunity to kick the extra point. Now we got a penalty flag. Illegal shift.
Illegal substitution on Woodland. So they might have had 12 guys out there on this extra point.
So now Chaz Johnson, who they didn't do very well kicking extra points last week in their jamboree, and now they're going to have to kick it from 5 yards back. So 45-6 your score. Snap is down, the kick is up, and that one's not going to be close.
Yeah, I think 86 Cody Cup blocked that kid. Scott, I think he got his hands on it. Cody Cup coming hard outside. One of those kids who just worked hard for 4 years, just kept hanging around, keep working hard, and now Cody Cup getting an opportunity to make a contribution to the football team. But watch Cody come here, leave his feet. Don't know if he got a piece of it, but he definitely affected that
scared
kick.
the kicker there. So that'll do it as we head to the break here with 3:20 to play here in the third quarter. Cartersville leading it 45-6 in the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. And welcome back. You're watching the High School Football Game of the Week. 3:20 to play here in the third quarter. 45-6 your score. The big number we're looking at now is the point differential. You want it to be 30 points or more going into the fourth quarter to run continuous clock. That's a good rule put in by the GHSA.
That was a great rule. That was one of the best rules.
That was I call that the LaGrange rule, when they used to beat people 60-0 and 72-0. And really helps out, I think, because I think it takes a lot. I mean, I know it's just part of the game, but when a team is just beating up on another, and Tony Stevens gets outside, and he spins off a couple would-be tacklers and gets across the 45 down to about the 41-yard line, and the Hurricanes will be in good field position here to start the drive, and now they're going to bring in a lot of younger guys. But I kind of think we'll see what Woodland does, but I think it's kind of customary to once the other team is kind of called off the dogs, I think it's your responsibility to get some younger guys, get a touchdown with your starters, and then get your younger guys in there too. And
some people think that way, Scott, and then some. It's an opportunity to make it respectable. You got to take advantage of these guys, and let's get them out of here and try to get some more points on the board. With 3:02 left here in the third quarter, Cartersville up 45-6.
So VJ Canny's going to come in to play quarterback. He pitches it off on the left end to Robbie McAfee, and he's going to roll in for what looks like a first down.
Yeah, nice run by Robbie McAfee. A little stop and go hesitation on the corner allowed McAfee to pick up an additional 5 to 6 yards, and he gets a first down. Cartersville now at the Woodland 35-yard line. Yeah, Robbie McAfee, one of those small Cartersville running backs, but you know It's kind of
like
a tradition at Cartersville to have a
It's like
5,
Antoine
6.
Sams.
Yeah, 5, 6, 5, 7, but they run 4, 4, 40s.
So McAfee lines up in out of the eye. He'll dot it. And Canny under center, hands off right up the middle, and he'll gain maybe a yard on the play as the clock continues to run inside 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Checking into the game now, Dustin Ritchie. Got a lot of new guys in the field. There was Richard Spooner in the game. He comes in as the tight end on the right side of the formation. And again, Canny goes under center, out of the eye, and this time he drops back, rolling it out himself. Now he's going to get loose. Canny's got some room to run as he pushes for 4 or 5 more. It'll bring up third and about 5 as the clock continues to go. 1:37 to play here in the third quarter. Cartersville up by 39, 45-6. The mercy rule in high school football is if you get to the fourth quarter up by 30 points or more, the clock will continue to run with, I guess, with the exception of timeouts and injuries, right?
Yeah.
And maybe if you go out of bounds. Is that?
I think it continues even out of bounds,
Even out of bounds?
Scott, tell you now, 42, VJ Canny is a freshman. You can tell he's got that 42 number, which means he probably plays a little linebacker, a little fullback, but a good-looking athlete.
And here come the Canes on the pitch out. And they're out of good run that time by number 28, Jarvis McAfee.
Jarvis getting his first varsity carry.
52 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Don't forget, we got our second Aflac trivia question brought to you by your local Aflac agent, Derek Strange. We'll have that for you at the beginning of the fourth quarter, so don't turn that dial. I know you're all excited to find out what that's going to be. 35 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Cartersville leading it 45-6 on the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. And again, we appreciate all of our sponsors for tonight's game. We couldn't do this without you. Hurricanes bring it up to the line. Canny goes under center. This time, going to run out of that offset eye. And this time, the handoff right up the middle to the fullback, number 41, Kevon Green.
Yeah.
Another good-looking player there, getting some time in there. And this is great to see some of these younger guys getting to play on Friday night under the lights. And that will do it for quarter number 3. Cartersville leading it 45-6 on the Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. We'll take a quick break and come back. You're watching the High School Football Game of the Week. We'll see you in just a minute. And welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter of play here along the banks of the Etowah River in a beautiful place for football here in Northwest Georgia. Part of Cartersville, Georgia, Woodland High School was founded, I guess the first season would have been 1998 was the first year. They were a high school before that, but that was the first year they really competed in varsity athletics. I guess they were founded in 97, and then 98 was their first football season. They had a all right year that year. I think it went 3-7, won 3 games toward the end of the year. The following year in '99 turned it into a 7-3 year and went to the or 7-4 year and went to the playoffs and played a very good Westlake team in the opening round of the state playoffs and made it a very respectable game. They had a great player named Quinto Aquazima, who is still one of my favorite players that has ever come through Bartow County. A very nice guy and an incredible athlete. Played at UTC and did a great job up there and scored a lot of touchdowns for the Mocs.
This Scott, he was played at the same school. A very famous wideout played. It's in the NFL right now. Can you name that wide? That would have been the good Aflac question.
Well, where were you when I was thinking him up?
This was a good one. He's either the number 1 or number 2 wideout in the NFL, and he played at UTC. This is not Aflac. This is Rucker. I'm not paying any ad space on this. T.O. played at UTC. You got it, Terrell Owens.
So, amazing. And I was just thinking about that the other day. When I was watching one of his interviews. This time, the Wildcats pitch it off around the right end, and running the football that time is number 31, Brandon Williams, rather. Good-looking run there. Williams moves in. So and now we have our Aflac trivia question brought to you by Derek Strange. Again, we'll go back to 1998, the first time these two teams played. Woodland, late in the game, scored their first touchdown as a varsity program. It was, well, I won't tell you what the play was. I'll give it away. But who scored that touchdown is the question. The Wildcats with the football. They'll hand it around the left end, and running the football that time is number 22, Dale Rhodes, and he's brought down after a short game, but it'll be enough for the first down, and the Cats are going to move the sticks with 10:25 to go here in the contest. And actually, there's going to be a turnover on the play at the end of the run, so it will not be a first down, and Cartersville will take over deep in Woodland territory, or in Woodland territory. I guess not deep, but the 37, so that's going to be pretty good field position for the Canes.
What'd you do, go pull up some stats or get an old tape of that football game or something between Woodland and Cartersville? Because I know you don't remember it.
I actually did.
Okay.
And the answer to your trivia question is Doug Brown scored the first touchdown in Woodland High School history, and he did that back in the 1998 season on the quarterback keeper down in this left end zone over here. He ran into the corner late in the game, and Cartersville won that one, I believe, 35-6.
Something like that. I'm surprised you don't remember that one.
I think it might have been 42-6. The next year it was 45-6, so I guess maybe that was the score. 42-6, I think, was the final that year. There's a run right up around the right end for the Canes.
That's number 24, junior Michael McCord, running the football for Cartersville, picking up 4 yards on the play.
Brings up second and a long 6. 9:11 to go, and the clock continues to run. So about 9 minutes from now, this one will be in the books. But yeah, that was a great night for. That was a great night for Cartersville's program because they won the game, but they also propelled them into back-to-back undefeated seasons, which
dominating defenses for Cartersville those 2 years.
And the Hurricanes will run it right up the middle, and look at this, getting loose outside for the Hurricanes is number 47. That is Robbie McAfee again, and boy, he just keeps the legs moving. We got a penalty flag on the play. We'll see what the call is.
I can't believe anybody would throw a flag now.
Going to be blocking the back against the Kings. So 8:20, and the clock continues to run because we are in the mercy rule situation.
The referee should have his badge or something pulled for throwing the flag.
And there we go. We'll mark off 10, and the Hurricanes will line it up again. 8:04 to go here in the contest, and the clock continues to run. Most of the.
Of course, I mean, that's good. I mean, he's giving the signals and everything, and the clock's running, and he's marking it off, and the clock didn't stop, so he did take up about a minute right there. So it's actually a good thing.
Out of the eye, the Hurricanes will bring it up to the line. Kenny goes under center. And this time, a little busted play there. And Kenny's going to run it himself on the bootleg, and he runs up, and he's got the first down and a couple more. So the Hurricanes will move the sticks again.
I'll tell you, that's another one of those games you need to remember. V.J. Kenny, he probably won't be a quarterback all 3 years in high school, but he'll be a good football player for Cartersville High School before he leaves. Good enough athlete where he can walk out, play a linebacker or a quarterback or a running back. V.J. Kenny could be a defensive back or a wide out. He's that kind of athlete.
Well, the Hurricanes will bring the play from the sidelines and bring it up to the line. They will work from the Wildcat 27-yard line. 1st and 10, the call. We're under 7 minutes to go here in this game as the Canes will work out of the eye. And this time they pitch it off quickly in the backfield to McAfee, and he's going to turn the corner. He's up around the right end. He's loose at the 10 and down inside about the 9-yard line, and we got a penalty flag on the field.
I tell you, it's kind of a busted play, but did you see the vision? Robbie McAfee stopping and making the cut, great vision, and really just making a good run. You can see McAfee just roll his eyes. He saw the laundry on the field, and that run has got to come back. There's a toss by Canty. Look at the cut. There's McAfee. Great run by Robbie McAfee on that play.
Well, it's great to see him having a good time out there. And 6:15 to go here in the contest. The clock continuing to run. Again, if you're just joining us and wondering why that clock's going, it's a GHSA rule installed really during LaGrange's run, I really think it was the LaGrange rule, because the teams down there in Columbus were getting pounded week in and week out by the Grangers, and so they let it continuous, especially when they were playing like Jordan and Kendrick and those schools, and they were just beating the death out of them every week. And Grange had guys that could probably play in the NFL, and Kendrick had guys
some
that
of those were
couldn't play in the band, and we had those were some brutal scores. Hurricanes out of the eye, and this time they're going to hand off up the middle and pushing them forward inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line.
Nice looking run by number 41. That's Kevon Green on that play. Nice run by the fullback. As you can see, some of the linemen in the game for Cartersville. Dustin Ritchie, a junior, also at right guard, number 50. Sam Hobgood, also in the game.
So the Hurricanes will break the huddle and bring it up to the line. We do have, and Hurricanes with the football, and look at the little move here by McAfee as he gets to the corner and sends it down.
Another great run by Robbie McAfee, just herky-jerky, moving from the left to the right, shaking and baking, picking up about 5 to 6 yards on that play. But Robbie McAfee, another good-looking running back for Cartersville. Also 72 coming in the game, Cole Lester, a junior for Cartersville.
We have some scores from around the area brought to us by our friends at WIXC Radio. Again, catch them for all your county games this year. They've got a great schedule of high school football that you can catch every single Friday night live on AM 1270. We have the score from Cass. They beat Southeast Whitfield tonight 42-0. So the Colonels getting it underway, unscored on here in the opening game of the season. And then Gordon Central beat Adairsville 27-7. And again, the Hurricanes running around the right end as the clock goes under 4 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. So very good start for the county. It's not for Adairsville, it's for Cartersville and Cass. And I'll be honest with you, Cartersville and Cass play in the toughest region in the county.
Tough region.
It is going to be a tough region. It's always been a good region. This year, it's exceptional because you bring in Villa-Rica, who always has a good football team, and Sandy Creek, who has a good football team. And Sandy Creek has a couple move-ins this year, so they're going to be stronger than last year.
Yeah, who's that famous wideout from Sandy Creek? Please tell me you know.
Hurricanes with the football. Right up the middle goes McAfee down to the 10-yard line, and the Hurricanes will move the sticks.
One of the best wideouts in the country in college football out of Sandy Creek High School.
Oh, your boy at Tech.
The truth, Calvin Johnson out of Sandy Creek. I hope he doesn't have any cousins.
Hope he has a big game tomorrow night. I'd really like to see Georgia Tech. I tell you want the lock of the weekend. Take Georgia Tech and the points.
You think so?
I think so. Night game at Tech. That's bad news for the visiting team, and I don't think Notre Dame is that great.
I'm scared.
I think they're good, but I don't think they're an SEC or ACC caliber team. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that right now, but we'll see.
We'll see.
2:20 to go here. I may be very wrong. But I have watched more Tech games. I've been to more Tech games at night where I thought the visiting team was going to just run them. That includes Florida State, Maryland. There have been some really good teams that have gone in there and left with their tail between their legs on a Friday night.
That's Saturday night.
On a Saturday night. And on a Thursday night for that matter, too. Out of the eye, Hurricanes will give it to McAfee again, who pushes his way inside the 10 down near the 5-yard line. And the Hurricanes are knocking on the door with 1:45 to go here in the contest. And I just think, I really believe Notre Dame does not play the schedule that gets you ready for this.
Well, you begin to look at it. Who did Notre Dame beat last year? They did not beat a top 20 team last year. They were, given all credit in the world for playing USC close at home, a game in which USC did not play very well, but they still won the football game. But other than that game, Notre Dame really did not beat a top 20 team.
Right. And Tech had to play a lot of very good teams last year in the ACC. And then their out-of-conference game was Georgia. So, I mean, that's a good schedule. You can't argue that. I believe that every year. I believe Notre Dame, Southern Cal, Texas, you throw them in the ACC or the SEC, they are not undefeated. It's just that simple. I think I'm a huge Florida fan, and I'm biased. I think they have a very good team this year, but I do not see how you can play that kind of schedule and go undefeated. You can't do it.
It's tough.
It's tough. It's just, and I think you're going to have a hard time seeing a national champion out of either conference in the next couple of years with as good as the talent is. Hurricanes with the ball, and the keeper by Canny, and he's going to take it in for 6. So Canny scores on a 3-yard quarterback keeper, and the Hurricanes are on the scoreboard.
Scott, Cartersville is going to attempt the extra point. I was hoping the clock would run out. 15 seconds left in the football game, but it looks as if Cartersville is going to, they're going to go for 2 because they probably don't have anyone else to hold.
And they're going to run it up the middle. It will not get in, and that will do it.
It's number 33, Todd Dean, on the carry, a freshman getting a try there.
So there is your final, 51-6, as the Hurricanes match their biggest point total since the 1999 season with 51 points. That's the first time they've hung 50 on a team in a real game in quite some time. And so the Hurricanes walk away with a victory, 51-6 the final, and they will await Buford next weekend. For the Wildcats of Woodland, they will get into their region schedule very soon, and they have an off week next week, and then they're on the road at Cherokee in region play, and so we'll see how things pan out.
Cherokee has a good football team, I can tell you.
So you see Scott Hamilton meeting up with head coach Frank Barden, and there you have the final, 51-6. We'll take a quick break and break it all down here from the banks of the Etowah River. You've been watching the Chuck Clancy High School Football Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back. You're watching the Workhorse Productions and Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week. And there's your final. Cartersville 51, Woodland 6. And that will do it here in Game 1 of the 2006 season. Cartersville with a dominating victory on the road. And the Hurricanes, of course, happy with the outcome tonight. But they've got a big test ahead of them as Buford comes calling to Weinman Stadium next Friday for the Hurricanes home opener. And again, you can see the game in its entirety the following Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on Channel 53 here on the Adelphia cable system, soon to be Comcast system. And again, that is Channel 53 at 8 o'clock. You can also see the games the following Saturday morning at 9:30. Also, don't forget the Frank Barden Show airs every Thursday night at 8 o'clock, and it is followed by the Rick Casco Show, and brought to you by Major Motors and Beef O'Brady's, respectively. So, again, thank you for all of our sponsorship for this year. And again, we're going to break down some of the final numbers. The Hurricanes on the board first at the 10-13 mark. Donovan Tate catches a 14-yard touchdown pass from Lyle Allen. And the Hurricanes are on the scoreboard, 7-0 your score with Trent Dittmer's extra point. Donovan Tate then catches another 14-yard pass from Lyle Allen. That made it 14-0. At the 1:13 mark, Lyle Allen scores on a 16-yard touchdown run. That would make it 21-0. Then Lyle Allen scored on a 1-yard touchdown plunge at the 11:40 mark in the second quarter. That made it 28-0. Trent Dittmer then added a 29-yard field goal. That made it 31-0. Third quarter, 8:05 to play. First 1-yard touchdown run by Tony Stevens made it 38-0. Then at the 6:55 mark in the third quarter, Francis Duncan took a 44-yard touchdown in the other direction with the INT. With the extra point by Dittmer, it made it 45-0. Then Cordell Horace scored on a 5-yard touchdown run to break the shutout. That made it 45-6. And then VJ Canny put this one to bed with a 3-yard touchdown run for the Hurricanes, making it 51-6. And that is your final from the banks of the Etowah River. And we like to break down some of the final numbers here. Lyle Allen had a solid night passing. He was 8 of 12 for 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. Carried the ball 4 times for 30 yards and 2 scores as well. And Morgan Alexander with a big night, 7 carries, 48 yards. Tony Stevens, 2 carries, 6 yards, but one of them was a touchdown. Donovan Tate, 2 receptions for 28 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jeremy Trimble had 4 catches for 45 yards. And the Hurricanes won this game easily, 51-6, as they move to 1-0 on the season, and they will await Buford next week. For Woodland, they now drop to 0-1 on the year, and they start region in 2 weeks when they travel to Cherokee County. And that will do it for the first Chuck Clancy Automotive High School Football Game of the Week here in 2006. We will see you again next week as the Hurricanes play host to Buford.